club stream. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah. We will travel Israel, we will see the truth. And when they say we are lying, we will show the proof. Ya habibi. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah. So y'all come with me for another stream. Become a clat. Join my Patreon. Become a clat. Join my Patreon. And don't forget my Discord because it's very fun. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah. Humus shawarma, jahnun burekas. Umani ovedochem shalom aleichem. But come hang out with me and I take you by the hand. This is the Traveling Clan live stream. Shalom and welcome to a Traveling Clan stream. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah. If we travel Israel, we will see the truth. And when they say we are lying, we will show the proof. Ya habibi, become a clat. Join my Patreon. Become a clat. Join my Patreon. And don't forget my Discord because it's very fun. This is the Traveling Clan live stream. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah. Na 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 na. Yeah 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 yeah.
Yo, whoa, my hair. Wow, this hair is long and this beard is long. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Traveling Clan live stream. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Rahmat barakatuh. How is everybody doing? How is everyone doing? Thank you so much for joining me here today on this glorious day where we hopefully, live on camera, will hit 400,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. It's going to be a normal call-in show like any other, but we're going to have the subscriber counter ticking away here at the bottom, keeping us company as we're going to try our darndest within the next couple hours as we're live to hit the milestone. It has been 11 years. 11 years I have managed this YouTube channel. This has been my YouTube channel for 11 years. I started this channel in 2014, April 17th, 2014. And we are going to do our darndest today to hit this glorious milestone, which, to be honest with you, I never honestly thought I was going to hit. I know it was a bit of an awkward time. I was honestly out filming today. I was not planning on doing a stream. And I saw that my subscriber counter ticked upwards like crazy overnight. And I was like, I want to try my best to hit this on stream with you guys and celebrate. So welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, PC, for dropping us a 10-pound super chat right here at the start. I love Israel. I'm proud to be a Jew. I am as well, and I love Israel. So first and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe right now, and let's get the calls going. Let's open up the call-in segment to the show. Anybody is welcome to hop on Discord and chat away with me. You want to argue, you want to chat, you want to have a good time, you want to have a bad time, anything's kosher, and we'll have the little subscriber counter ticking away here. Maybe I'll put it down here, actually. It's probably smarter. So here we are, currently sitting at 39,740 subscribers. We've gained just like 5 subs since the beginning of this stream. I'm inviting anybody who's coming up on stage right now to chit-chat, debate me, talk about something you want to talk about. It could be whatever you like here on the stream. And that's it, guys. As it goes, as we keep going, I'll keep mentioning, let's keep trying to get more subscribers throughout the stream. If you want to do your boy a favor and send this to a grandma, an aunt, a mom, a dad, you want to send them some love, let them know that your boy's trying to hit this milestone, I would appreciate it very much, so we can help us get there faster. Oh, there we go. We're moving, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving. We're around, what, 250 subs away? Am I doing the math right? Yeah. At 750, we'll be at 250 subscribers away. So with what YouTube is doing by itself, we should be able to hit it, I think, on this stream, hopefully, as long as you guys help me tick it up faster. Just keep sharing it with friends and family if you can. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome. Who would like to go first? Helios, are you here with me?
I'm here, bro.
Wait, say that again. I want to see if we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Fantastic. We got you loud and clear. What's on your mind, my brother?
What's on my mind?
Tell me anything.
Well, I'm working right now, you know. The reason why I'm working home is I'm editing pictures because I'm a photographer. But you wanted me to talk about something political, I guess, right?
Not necessarily. It's whatever you like. The goal of today's live stream is to get to 400,000 subscribers. So anything's relevant.
Anything's relevant. Well, you know, I hope you get the 400,000 subscribers, and I hope you get to the 1 million subscribers, and you spread the word of truth about Israel and politics, you know, and everything that's going on, because you have an amazing way and amazing strategy to debate people and get the best out of the people, or get even the truth out of the people. So that's something that people adore you for, you know.
Thank you, my brother. Where are you from, Helios?
Originally, I'm from Iraq.
Why شكو ماكو حبيبي.
وش ماكو وش اخبارك احوالك حبيبي.
يا مجنون يا محربط. انا محربط. What a wonderful time, man. Celebrating. Can you believe it, guys? Celebrating 400,000 subscribers with my Iraqi brother here on stream. What an honor. I mean, we're not celebrating yet. Hopefully, once we hit it, we can celebrate. Yo, wow. The great and powerful comedian Nathan Badalov is on here with us right now. Wow, Nathan, if you know how to use Discord and you can call in, bro, please do call in. If you guys don't follow Nathan, he's an incredible Bukharian, which means his family comes from Uzbekistan, Jewish comedian in New York City. I just missed him when I was there, but he is creme de la creme. If you're Ashkenazi, your feelings might get hurt a little bit, but it's all in good fun. And I love this guy. He's so funny. What an honor to have him on stream. Okay, Helios, well, I appreciate you. If there's anything that pops up in your mind, anything controversial you want to talk about, let me know. You can stay on. Everybody's welcome to come on today. What's going on, Chupet? Chupetti spaghetti? Okay, next up, Jake. What's up, Jake? Jake, you here? Damn, is it me? Am I shooting blanks right now? What's going on? KGG, are you here?
Hello.
There we are.
Can you hear me?
What up, girl? How's it going?
It's going great. How are you? How's everything? How's Israel?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. That's great. So I'm happy that Israel is doing great.
Where are you calling
Well,
from?
I've been watching. Yeah, I've been watching the news and everything from for 5 years now, closely instead of Israel and the external factors. I hope Israel wins this war against the evilness in this world, and I hope the Jewish nation would be safe, and everybody that supports the Jewish nation. We're here for the light. So yeah.
We appreciate that a lot. Where are you calling in from?
I'm Kurdish, so I'm from Kurdistan.
What the hell? Look at this. What is it? Iraqi Kurdistan?
Hey, yo, same.
I am originally from Arbelia.
Oh wow! What are the odds of the first two people I pulled up on stage here are Iraqi? That's crazy. That's so cool.
Oh, don't call me Iraqi, please. I'm Kurdish.
Okay, fine. I'm not Iraqi technically either, but we're not Iraqi, but we technically are. You know, I know you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I get it.
We're Iraqi by nationality, but none of us are not Iraqi, and I don't have Iraqi nationality, but we're technically Iraqi. Also, we just got a super chat, $9.99 from Gummy Bear Trainer. Says, congrats, Tal. Today's coffee's on me. Love listening on Discord and on YouTube. Your channel is amazing. Much love. Appreciate you very much, Gummy Bear Trainer. Thank you. This is so lovely to be here with everybody, guys. I'm very excited. Again, if you do believe in the channel and you want to help me hit this milestone, 400,000 subs, share it with one. If everybody shares it with one friend, we'll be there really quick. Right now, we got 100 people on stream. If one person shares this stream or my channel with one other person, we'll get there real quick.
She doesn't have any.
All right, let's Kalman. Welcome to the stream, brother.
Oh yeah, thank you. Hello.
How you doing, baby?
I'm very excited to speak to you. I watch your YouTube channel all the time.
Thank you. I'm very excited to speak to you as well, brother.
I have a question.
Tell me.
Would you describe Zionism as a resistant movement against the Arab Islamic occupation, Arab Islamic missionary colonialist occupation?
No, I wouldn't consider it specifically against Islamic, because that's not what Zionism is. Zionism.
Yeah, but this is just to use their own terms against them.
No, I feel like we don't need to be honest with you.
That he called down on flatlands.
Sorry, I'll just
asking for our clients.
Down real quick. She was just talking. So I wouldn't. Oh wait, quick pause. We got the queen herself, Infidel Noodle here. What a queen! Coming here to celebrate. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so I wouldn't consider Zionism a resistance movement because it is a part of our religious beliefs as Jewish people, as Israelites. It's an integral part of your religious belief, the yearning to establish yourself and have self-determination and have a relationship with Zion, with Jerusalem. So I couldn't in good faith consider Zionism, even if I'm using their terms. I wouldn't call it a resistance movement because it's not. It's an ideology.
Yeah. The ideology, it was always there, but the Zionism. It's more like a political movement based on the ideology.
So I don't like to associate it as a political movement myself. I mean, you feel free to do it yourself. I don't like to specifically because I see Zionism as an integral part of my spirituality, my connection with this land. So
yes, but you need to organize it.
What do you mean you need to organize it?
Okay, so the yearn to go back to Israel, it was always there in our prayers, but in order to make it true, you need to organize it in a political movement in order to make it happen.
I don't believe that you need to organize it. I believe that it was very good that was done, but I don't necessarily believe that you need to organize it in that manner.
Just like a kingdom of David, it was a political establishment of the Jewish belief.
Correct, but I don't believe that it's 100% necessary to organize it. I mean, again, I'm happy that it happened. I'm not saying I disagree with it or something. God forbid. I do believe in Zionism and political Zionism. I'm just saying I don't think it's 100% necessary to do it in that manner to still be a Zionist. And I don't believe that classifying it as a resistance movement maybe does a little bit of a disservice to what it actually is, which is a very spiritual concept.
Yes, but in the geopolitics,
brother, I think that what you could say, in my sense, in my idea, which would be better use of the language, is that the continuous existence of the state of Israel, with Zionism or without Zionism, the fact that Jewish people are in control of themselves through like a nation state here is in itself a resistance movement. But I wouldn't place Zionism as that resistance movement.
Right. It's not as it's as his own. It's also a resistance
You
movement
could say
because
that
the
Israel
Arab.
is a resistance movement. I would agree with you more.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the
Okay.
state of
I
Israel is
see.
a resistance movement against Islamic colonizers of the region. I'm with you. I think that's a better use of language.
I see.
But Zionism itself is like, I hate that Zionism has become so, like, it's become such a fucking dirty term. I hate it because it's like I'm born, raised, and bred a Zionist. My whole family's as Zionist as it gets. You know, like we're super Zionist, and we're unashamed, unabashed. Like we believe in the concept.
Yeah.
We believe. Everyone in my family, going back 3 generations, even from Iraq, believed in this concept. So we didn't. It's not like we're. Like I hate to
Okay.
have my own belief
I see.
politicized. It's spiritual for me.
I am working with, I have a Muslim friend and I read the Quran and I'm a nurse in a hospital. Can I tell you a story?
Please, please.
Okay, so I argue with my friends. Again, I work with them, a college with a good faith conversation I do with Arab Muslims. And I once told my friend, you want to make Israel all country to all these citizens, not a Jewish country. Okay, whatever you want. I have one term that the Muslims will build a synagogue on the Temple Mount, and they will say it's a gift to Banu Israel who came back to their land. The Muslim will build a synagogue in the Temple Mount next to Al-Aqsa, and they will say it's a gift to Banu Israel. And then you could do anything, 2 state, 1 state, whatever. Either that or a total war. And all of them choose a total war.
I didn't totally understand. Can you explain it one more time?
Okay, sorry. I told them we talked about a 2-state solution, 1 state to all, to stop that to make Israel a Jewish state. No, be a state, not an ethno state, like the United States, let's say. So I said I can agree with one term that the Muslim people of the area will donate a synagogue in the Temple Mount next to Al-Aqsa with a sign that said a gift to Banu Israel, to Am Israel, yes, for their return to their land. If you will do that, I will accept that you know that I belong to this land. I don't want you to know that this land belong to me, but I want you to acknowledge that I also belong here.
But they do acknowledge.
No.
I'm gonna tell you a story.
None of them can agree to that. They said that Jews are not Bnei Israel.
Halas, wait. Can you see my screen right now? Can you see my camera? Here, wait. I'll turn it on. 1 sec. Also, freaking shout out to the queen herself, Infidel Noodle, dropping us 30 shekels right now for happy almost 400K. Thank you so much, you sweetheart. Appreciate you very much. Okay. Do you see this? I'm too lazy to go get my wallet right now because it's in my wallet. But I own this coin. See this coin right here?
Yeah.
This coin is from the Umayyad dynasty. So this is the first Khalif after the death of the Prophet Muhammad. When the Umayyads conquested, colonized, and established a base in Yerushalayim, in Jerusalem, they renamed, as you know, Jerusalem into Bayt al-Maqdis, based on the Beit HaMikdash, and then eventually it became known as Al-Quds, now more known as Al-Quds in the Palestinian dialect. This coin, okay, that was created directly after the death of the Prophet Muhammad, on the back says Muhammad Rasul Allah, which means Muhammad is God's prophet. And on this side of the coin, on the front side of the coin, it says La ilaha illallah, which means there is no God but God himself, or there's no God but Allah himself. And then right here, can you tell what that shape is?
Yeah, it's a menorah.
Of course. So even, and this is around 1,500 years ago, or 1,300 years ago to be exact, the Muslims conquered Jerusalem, and when they established themselves in Jerusalem, they took Jerusalem not from the Jewish people, they took it from the Byzantines, who had taken it from the Romans, who had taken it from the Hashmonaim. So for anybody who understands that there's this large gap of a couple hundred of years where the Jews had lost Jerusalem and were then under Roman occupation, and the Romans eventually turned and formed a group with the Byzantines and became the Byzantine occupation of Jerusalem, and only then did the Muslims conquer it. So the Muslims had every opportunity when conquering Jerusalem under the Umayyad dynasty, which is the direct dynasty under the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, right after their holy prophet, the most holiest of prophets, the first dynasty after that was still part of the Quran. When they established themselves in Jerusalem, they could have minted a coin that had Jesus on it, that had a crescent star, a cross, a Roman god. They could have had a Byzantine god. They could have had anything on that coin. But they chose to put a menorah. Specifically, they put a 5-branch menorah, which is actually a Kabbalistic thing. I learned about it later in life. But they put on a menorah. Now,
yet they didn't.
Hold on.
They didn't allow
the menorah. The menorah is the one and only eternal symbol of the Jewish people, of Am Yisrael, of the Israelites. You have to answer this question to me, regardless of how Muslims and Palestinians carry themselves today in the land. On the basis of Islam, on the basis of the Quran, they believe wholeheartedly, with no doubt and no fiber in their soul, that we belong to this land. Islamically, based on Islam itself, Bnei Israel belong in this land and are the inheritors of this land. The problem is, the main issue is the interpretation of who Bnei Israel are. And I think this is a more holistic conversation to be had, but that's on us. We need to do a better job representing ourselves as Bnei Israel. Because when the Arab world looks at us, they're confused. They are confused. The Arab world a lot of times sees in a very black and white. They don't see the way that Jewish people or the way that Israelis see the world. Because we, Israelis, we come from Iraq and Afghanistan and Morocco and Poland and Ukraine and Ethiopia and Eritrea and Djibouti and Somalia and Sudan. And we have this incredible coalition of nations from all over the world. So we see in color vision. The Arab world sees, the Muslim world sees black and white. They see good, they see bad. They see gay, they see straight. They see religious, they see secular. They don't see the in-between. They don't understand what the hell is going on. So when we represent ourselves as Am Yisrael, that's like this non-cohesive amoeba of a bunch of different opinions, and I'm saying that's a beautiful thing about us, we are confusing the shit out of our neighbors. They are having a hard time understanding who we are. And so then they feed into replacement theory, and they say they're the real Jews, and the Palestinians are the real Jews, and you guys couldn't be the real Jews because you come from Poland and Iraq and this and that, whatever. We haven't done a good enough job, and this is a global issue on the Jewish image, and I've learned this now that I was in America. We do a shit job representing ourselves. And part of what I do in this fight every day is I'm trying to represent the Jewish people, Am Yisrael, in a more holistic manner than we already have done. So that's kind of my take on it.
I completely agree with everything you said, and this is a replacement theory. I will just end with one thing.
Yes.
That in all, if you look all over the book of prayer or the Siddur, you will not find the word Jew in it.
Correct.
We always called ourselves Am Yisrael.
Am Yisrael. I agree.
When we pray, we always say Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And the first place in the Bible that the name Eretz Israel appears, it also includes Judea.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the book of Samuel. It says that there is, in all of Eretz Israel there were no sword that include Judea. So
I could not agree with you more.
well,
I actually think that's one of
when
our
I speak to Muslims, I always call myself Am Israel.
Am
I
Israel.
never say Yehudi.
Mm-hmm.
I never say. Not that I have problem, but it's not really our name.
Yep. I couldn't agree with you more, brother, and I'm so proud of you for saying that because it's one of the biggest things that I try to push nowadays. It's not that idea we can't have pride in being a Jew or you can't call yourself a Jew. It's not about that. It's about the truth of what we actually are, which is Bnei Israel. And Bnei Israel encompasses a lot of other people. It's not just strictly the Jewish people that are part of that. And I think that part of our job as Israelites is to help the world understand who we are and help people who may be a part of this family understand who they are as well and bring them back home.
When a Jew is about to die, he doesn't say Shema Yehudi. He says Shema Israel.
Shema Israel. Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, bro. You said that beautifully, man. Well, thank you, Achi. Thank you for coming up on stage and sharing that with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. Very nice to
Bye.
talk to you. Policeman, Al-Julani, يا شباب. كيف حالك حبيبي?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How's it going? So I'm the guy from your last stream.
Okay. Did we speak?
The
We
one
spoke
from
on this.
Romania. Do you remember me?
Give me a little reminder. I don't totally remember.
Oh, we were talking about like the Syrian Jews and stuff like that.
Hello?
I don't totally remember, but I'm sure you'll jog my memory as we keep talking.
So you were saying
Wait,
that
hold on,
there's
one
a,
second.
You made a mistake.
One second.
America daily. But after Muhammad died.
Okay. I got to kick people off stage who are talking. Guys, everybody, just so you're watching, the 200 people who are watching right now, we are trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. I don't know if it's possible. I'm trying to stay humble with my expectations. Trying to hit 400,000 subscribers live on stream with you right now so we can celebrate. We are about 230-ish away. If everybody right now that's watching this stream shares this stream with one other person or gets one other person to subscribe, we'll hit that benchmark immediately. Please, 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 if you want to support the channel, best right now is to just share the channel more than anything than giving money or supporting. Share the channel. Let's try to hit 400,000 subscribers together. I really want to hit this milestone. It's going to be so exciting. So thank you so much. And all right, policeman, continue.
Okay, so you were saying that there's like an active Druze genocide or whatever, that like the HTS army is going through neighborhoods and massacring Druze, right? That's what you're saying. Last time that's what I remember. You told me to look like Twitter videos and photos or something.
I don't totally remember what we were talking about. One more time.
We were talking about, that there was like a sectarian conflict in Syria with the Druze, right? And you were saying that Israel should go to Syria and defend the Druze. That's what you're saying.
Well, I wasn't very clear on my stance, if I remember correctly, but Israel did end up going and defending the Druze.
I remember you were saying that there were like 500 people dying and there were like trucks of like
yes
HTS going and murdering.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true. That's literally not true. It was a small sectarian conflict that killed like 100 people.
Okay, I don't think that those numbers are accurate.
I can give it a source if you want.
Okay, you feel free to share them.
You can look in the chat.
Do you have a personal vendetta against the Druze people, by the way? I'm just curious.
No. I was just like debunking your
my Zionist lies.
Yeah.
What? Okay, is that's what you wanted to say? You wanted to come on to say that only 100 people died?
No. I wanted to ask you about the aid situation too. Like in the last 2 months, like it's been brutal. Like no aid. Like
yeah, I believe that Gaza deserves zero aid at the moment. I'm unabashed, unapologetic in that I think nobody in Gaza deserves any aid at the moment. There should be no aid going into Gaza whatsoever.
59 kids died.
Listen, read my lips. Not one ounce of aid goes into Gaza until all the hostages are out. Not one. Not one. Not one truck.
The hostages.
And by the way, our prime minister that's so anti-Palestinian just dropped in a bunch of fucking aid today. out of nowhere, quietly. Without asking anybody.
Canada, France, and UK. Canada, France, and UK threaten sanctions against.
They can. Like all three can get fucked.
It's a violation of international law.
Good. Everyone violates international law every single day, but only Israel is held accountable. The Palestinians, every single day that goes by, that every single one of those hostages is held underground in civilian homes, held underground in a tunnel protected by civilians, is breaking international law. Fuck out of here with international law. Who gives a fuck in the Middle East about international law? Why? Sorry, excuse me. When HTS was massacring Druze people, did any international law step in to stop the massacre of the Druze people?
It wasn't the HTS. It was just.
Hold on. Hold on. Without it being the HTS, no problem. Let's just say it was the Syrian people. Let's just say it was random militants in Syria. So there's no accountability.
Who says there shouldn't be accountability?
So hold on. Where was the international law? Where was fucking what's his name? Theodros.
Dude, you're in Israel. You're a
hold on. For real.
Hold on.
Law. I will not. Read my lips. I give zero fucks about international law until Iran is off the Women's Rights Council. When Iran is off the Human Rights Council for women's rights in the international law, I'll give a fuck about international law. Unabashed, unapologetic in saying that. I don't give a fuck about international law until international law gives a fuck about the world. But if we only care about Palestinian lives and nobody else's, fuck international law. Sincerely.
Wait, so when Russia invaded Ukraine, we shouldn't give a fuck about the international law then? Because it is like an invasion, like an illegal invasion, right?
Read what I'm saying carefully. International law doesn't matter unless it's being upheld everywhere. If it's only being upheld in Russia, Ukraine, and not in Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, then it doesn't fucking matter. If 640,000 people were killed in Ethiopia in the last 4 years, and nobody in the international law says a damn word, no sanctions in the UN against either parties in Ethiopia.
How do you think the ICC gave a restaurant?
Can I say something quick? Can I say something?
No,
quick?
you have to wait. We do this one by one. One by one.
Hold on.
One by one.
Let's go slowly.
One by one. So I'm getting hyped up right now. I'm getting on my shit.
The ICC gave restaurants to Sinwar, Daif, and whatever based on international law, right? So it kind of applies there, right?
No, it doesn't apply because the ICC or the UN body organization funded Hamas and their ideology.
The Hague, not the ICC.
They're related. We can establish that they're related, or they're completely different organizations. They're related.
I think they're
very much related.
No, the ICJ is related.
They're very much related, and they all work with the same framework. It's all the same bullshit. It's all these governing bodies that are corrupt, that are taking money from Qatar and from Iran.
You're lying. Okay, you're lying.
You're lying. You can sit here and say
the
I'm
ICC
lying.
Is not related to the ICJ or the UN.
You can sit here and say that I'm lying, but I've seen the ID of Mohammed Sinwar or Yahya Sinwar's wife with a UN UNRWA ID. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Dude, what does ICC have to do with UNRWA?
What I'm saying is this establishment of all of these organizations, they're all fucking bullshit. They're all corrupt. They do not apply the arrest warrants, the war,
I'm asking again,
the sanctions against anybody.
To the ICJ or UN? I'm asking again.
So understand. So listen to what I'm saying. All of these organizations, they all behave in the exact same manner. None of them equally apply their laws or their regulations against anyone.
International law.
It
doesn't matter, dude.
You have to understand this, brother. You have to understand what I'm saying. If, and this is the truth, if 50,000 people in Sudan were slaughtered in the beginning of 2024, and I didn't see one arrest warrant in the ICJ or in the ICC for any leader in Sudan.
Whoa, hold on. ICC arrested for years on end only African war criminals.
I want to see in 2024. I want to see in 2024 an arrest warrant for just one Sudanese leader in the genocide of Sudan. Just one.
I mean, there was a genocide there.
I want to see one arrest warrant But until
sure, but there
for
were
me,
African warlords
for
that
me,
were tried. That
good
the ICC
and
put
good,
in jail,
fantastic.
Okay?
That
So
I want to
means
see it. I want to see it from
it's
Sudan.
Upheld.
When it happens in Sudan,
It's upheld.
hold
International law
on.
is upheld.
When
if
it's
they were
in
tried.
Sudan, when it's in Somalia, when it's in Syria, and in Lebanon,
Dude,
and
come
in
on.
Yemen, don't dude me. This is important. You cannot discount their lives and then make me pretend to care about Palestinians. I don't believe you. You're being disingenuous.
Dude, the ICC wanted to like.
Are you listening? Are you listening?
Taliban.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? How can I take your care?
The ICC is independent.
How can I take the
First
ICC?
of all, and it has nothing to do with UN.
How
and
can
a bunch
I?
of war criminals from Africa
Okay.
were tried.
You're
and arrested
You're
at the
deflecting the
ICC.
point. You're deflecting the point over and over again. How can I, as an Israeli Jew, take anything the ICC or the ICJ or UNRWA or the UN, any of these organizations? How can I take any of them seriously if I don't first see them condemning crimes that are happening not in a faraway land, right here in the neighborhood? Here.
Wasn't UN the same organization that investigated the mass rapes on October 7th? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yes, but they're also the ones who funded it. They funded it. I saw with my own eyes the apartment. I saw the apartment contracts. I saw the contracts of UNRWA employees. Can you let me finish? Can you let me finish? I've seen the apartment contracts of UNRWA employees and Hamas. I've seen the contracts. They were subletting apartments to Hamas members.
What about that ambulance? That ambulance, right? The New York Times story.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Every time I make a point to you, you deflect it. Every single time. You have a hard time internalizing that the truth is not on your side. These organizations, the ICC, the ICJ, UNRWA, are corrupt to the core. To the core.
How is the ICC corrupt?
They are corrupt to the core because they're not calling out what's going on in the immediate neighborhood. I'm not asking them to go to fucking Norway. I'm not asking them to go to America and start investigating crimes against Native Americans. I'm asking them. But can you answer to that? Can you answer to that? Why are there no arrest warrants? Why are there no arrest
warrants to Hamas leaders?
Why are there no arrest warrants for somebody in Sudan, for Somalia, for Ethiopia, the Congo, Syria, Yemen, Jordan, or not Jordan, Lebanon, and well, my brain shorted out. Those countries. Why are there no arrest warrants for all of them collectively? And why is that not being propagated day in, day out?
The ICC is seeking arrest warrants for the Darfur massacre.
For every single one of those. Go pull them up. Pull them up real quick.
Yeah, look there.
I'm doing the live stream. Pull them up. Help me out. I want to see arrest warrants this year.
I gave you the article on
Guardian. I can't pull it up. I can't pull it up on the stream right now. Read it to me. 2025. I want to see arrest warrants for
it says
leaders.
ICC,
hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. For me to take you seriously, this is what I need. The pro-Palestinians always say, oh, what about you need to see proof of the rapes. So you know what? I can be an extremist too. For me to take the ICC, the ICJ, the UN, any of these organizations seriously, I need to see right now from 2025 arrest warrants for leaders in Sudan, Somalia, Yemen, Lebanon, Syria from 2025 and Palestinian leaders. I need to see arrest warrants for Abu Mazen. I have to see an arrest warrant for Abu Mazen. If there's what
about the ones
if there is no arrest warrant for Abu Mazen, I can't take it seriously. And you know what? As a Jew, as an Israeli Jew, I have to set up limitations. At a certain point, I have to say, I cannot take you seriously until you show me that you're a serious party. If you're not serious, I can't take you seriously. I can't trust what you're saying. I want to. Dude. I want to uphold international law.
What crime did Abbas do?
A dictator for 19 years and a pay-for-slave program for Palestinians who kill Jewish people.
That goes to the families. Oh my God, not the fighters themselves. Come on, dude.
So you're excusing it, and that's fine. Just say it openly. It
goes to the families.
Hold on, brother. Don't pretend to be on a moral high ground.
Is it a war crime? Is it a war crime?
You just need to tell me if you support it. That's it. Don't run away from it.
No, I'm asking. Is it a war crime?
Let's ask a simple question.
Is it a war crime?
Let's ask
to give funds to the families.
Put the war crime on the side. Let's ask a simple question.
I don't support it. Okay.
That's it. So that's it. So you support it or you don't support it?
I just told you I don't.
So I need to see an arrest warrant for Abu Mazen on the basis of that. If I don't see an arrest warrant for Abu Mazen on the basis of him paying out the families of terrorists who murder Jews, then I can't take it seriously. I gotta set a line.
Dude, what part of they gave?
Listen to what I'm saying.
To Sinwar
listen to what I'm saying oh so very clearly. As a Jew, I have to set a red line. I have my red line. First, come to me with arrest warrants from this year. I need to see a pressing arrest warrant for the hundreds of thousands of people murdered in the Middle East.
Okay.
By Muslims.
So the ICC can only prosecute on war crimes.
So then I can't take it seriously. Until I see those arrest warrants, I say,
on war crimes.
Unless I see all of that shit right now, I need to see arrest warrants.
Did you hear what I said?
I want to see them tried in court. Israel should give zero fucks about international law, unapologetically.
The ICC can prosecute only on war crimes. Did Abbas
fantastic. So then they can go fuck themselves. I believe, just like you believe just like you believe there's a genocide happening in Gaza, and every single missile that falls in Gaza is a war crime. By the way, is a war crime. Just like you believe
your
that,
prime minister has an arrest warrant that
just like you believe that, I believe that every day that Abu Mazen sits in power in Palestine, that's a war crime. Here you go. If nothing matters, then nothing matters, brother. I want
you to tell me what war crime did the boss commit?
Him sitting.
What war crime?
Him occupying the Palestine. You know what? Let me give you one extra. I'm going to give you another one. I'm going to give you what I think is a real war crime.
Oh my God.
Right now, you can oh my God all the day. If we're going to do kangaroo court, let's fucking do kangaroo court, ya majnoon. Let's do it. The Hashemite king of Jordan is from Saudi Arabia. He colonized Palestinian land. Listen to what I'm saying. Every day he sits in power as the king of Jordan. He is occupying Palestinian land. That is a fucking war crime.
Did he do war crimes?
That is a war crime. And if you don't think so, you hate Palestinians.
What's a war crime? Him
occupying occupying the sovereign state of Palestine. So
now Palestine is a state.
Occupying the sovereign land of Palestinians.
So you accept that the state of Palestine is
sure, as long as it's in Jordan, absolutely, 100%. As long as its borders end in the Jordan River,
the West Bank has nothing to do with Jordan.
I don't give a fuck where Palestine is established as long as it's not established in the land of Israel. Go establish it wherever you want.
What does have to do with Jordan?
No. I said something else. Put Abbas on the side right now. The king of Jordan.
Abdullah.
Yes. King Abdullah. He is occupying. He's occupying. He's Hashemite. He is from Medina, from Mecca and Medina. He's from Saudi Arabia. He is not Levantine. He is not Palestinian. He's occupying land in the Levant. That's a war crime. He's violently occupying it from Palestinians. If Palestinians in Jordan uprise, they get killed. You can't uprise against the monarchy in Jordan. Is that right or wrong?
So Jordan was separated from the Palestine man.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. That is not Saudi Arabian land. That is not Saudi land. There is a man from Saudi Arabia occupying real Palestinian land.
Jordan was separated from the Palestinian land.
Brother.
It was called Transjordan.
That is the Levant, and you know that is the Levant. It has nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. It has nothing to do with Arabs. That is not Arab land.
Jordan.
That is indigenous,
I'm repeating.
native Palestinian land.
Palestinian mandate in 1921.
That is indigenous.
Jordan was separated.
Listen to what I'm saying. That is indigenous, native Palestinian land. And the Jordanian monarch, who is Saudi Arabian, he is not from the Levant, is occupying that land.
Dude, Jordan accepted him as a king. What do you mean?
Not the Palestinians. They did not accept him as a king. Absolutely not.
So you want the Palestinians tomorrow to go in and overthrow?
What I'm saying is, by your definition, that's a war crime. They're occupying Palestinian land. For over 76 years.
How are they occupying if he was accepted as a king? How are they occupying?
Who was he accepted as king by? Why? Was it democracy? No, it wasn't. Palestinians didn't get a say in that. That man is Saudi. That man is from Saudi Arabia. The Hashemite.
The only Palestinians
where does the Hashemite
from the 48? Of course they didn't have a say in it. What?
Hold on. Let's do this real slow. Where's the Hashemite family from?
Is it from the Arabian Peninsula?
Google it right now when you're on with me. I'm not rushing anywhere. We're trying to hit 200,000, 400,000 subs. Go. Just Google it. Just go. Hold on. Just Google it real quick. Just Google it real quick. Where is the Hashemite family from? Just give me an answer. Simplest answer. Google it. I'm with you. I'm not running.
No. You're not deflecting this.
I'm not deflecting it.
There.
I'm just saying.
Palestinians started being there in 48.
Hold on one moment. No, you have to, because you're running away from it because you don't want to know the truth. Ask Google the question real quick. Where is the Hashemite family from?
Kingdom of Hejaz.
Which is?
Is it?
Which is? Yes, Kingdom of Hejaz. You're right. Where is that from? Where is that geographically?
In the Gulf?
Correct. The Gulf of Arabia.
Yeah, so the Arabian Peninsula. So
correct. What? So what?
Next to the Levant.
But where is it geographically? It's not in the Levant.
It is close to the Levant.
Doesn't matter about close. Ukraine is close to so Ukraine is close to Russia. Does that mean that they can attack each other? No. Hold on.
No.
Okay, so hold on. I'm using your logic here. He's from over there, from Saudi Arabia, correct? Or no?
Okay.
We established that?
Yeah.
It is a war crime to violently occupy another nation's land.
How are they occupying if Jordan accepted him as a king?
Who is Jordan? And when did he get to come and colonize that land?
Violently.
Hold on. So if Palestinians wanted to overthrow him right now and say, we want to be in charge of the land because we're from here, what would happen to them? How would King Abdullah of Jordan treat the Palestinians wanting to establish a Palestinian state?
A few facts. Okay. So
you got to answer my questions, brother.
No,
brother.
They were separated.
You gotta. You see, but this is. I want to make an example of this policeman guy right here because I'm probably gonna clip this. But please be quiet. I'm probably gonna clip this, and this will be a great clip. I want to use this man as an example. This is every single, and I don't even know if he's pro-Palestinian. I think he's just making a shitty argument. But this is how every single pro-Palestinian debate I do or conversation goes. When you get down to the brass tacks, answer the question, you can't answer it. You cannot answer the question. I'll concede to you. I'll concede points. I'll concede points to you if I'm wrong about something.
Okay. We went to ask the question again.
Is King Abdullah not occupying land in the Levant that is not his? I'm doing your logic.
No.
Your logic.
No.
He is not. He's from Jordan?
No.
That's his land to occupy. A family from Saudi Arabia, from the direct descendants of Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad. That's where the Hashemite family comes from. We can trace that lineage. It wasn't so far back. Answer my goddamn question before saying so. Is he legally occupying that land, or is that illegal?
If Jordan as a king,
fuck out of here! Fuck out of here! All right, fine. So fine. So by your logic, then Russia's claim of Ukraine is legal. That's fine. No.
What does that have to do with anything?
All of a sudden it doesn't have to do with it. No.
Don't compare this to that conflict.
You're the one who brought it in earlier, not me. I'm using your logic against you, Habibi.
The Ukrainians accept. Wait.
All you have to do.
Ukrainians accept.
All you have to, and this is exactly what it is. Wonder Freeman said it perfectly. Invasion. You can't answer the question because it makes you lose your point.
Ukrainians accept Russia as a king.
It makes you lose your point. I'm not talking to you about Russia, Ukraine. I only used it for your logic. You believe that the Jordanian king Abdullah is occupying land that's his? You think the Hashemite family legally can occupy?
If he was accepted,
you think that land can be legally occupied by a family from Saudi Arabia? You think that's legal?
You're not letting me speak. Okay?
Of course I'm not, because you don't want to answer the question. You keep wanting to go on little tirades.
Just let me give you a little context, bro.
Come on. Go, Habibi.
So in 21, the man that was separated into Transjordan, he was accepted
by who?
By Jordan.
Who accepted him? Who accepted him?
The Jordanians living.
Who are the Jordanians?
The Bedouin tribes.
They accepted him.
In Israel.
So there was no Palestinians in that land. Where were the Palestinians?
No, the Palestinians came after the Nakba.
Where were the Palestinians?
Inside the mandate.
Which was? None of that was Jordan.
Oh, okay. Palestinians
Habibi,
came after the
Habibi,
Nakba. What does that have to do with
Habibi.
anything?
Come on. By the way, guys,
Dude,
we
he's
just
not
hold on.
illegally You're lying,
Hold
okay?
on.
You're lying.
Of course, I'm
You're
always
lying.
lying. I'm always lying. I'm a Jew. 399,000. Hold on.
What is he occupying?
Pause
If
real
he was
quick.
accepted
Shut your
as a
mouth.
king, what
Pause.
is he occupying?
Hey, shut your mouth. Be quiet. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, we just hit 399,800 subscribers. We are
Good for you.
200 away. Anybody who's watching this right now, we're going to keep going till we hit 400K live on stream right now.
I'm gonna subscribe, okay?
Please do, Habibi. Go for it. 400,000 is the goal. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, pause what you're doing. Send the stream to a friend. If only one of you, or sorry, all of you, sent it to one person, just one person, and got them to subscribe, we'd be at the benchmark right now. Right now. We'd be at 400,000 subscribers. Right now, this moment.
Look.
Also, well, hold on. Pause your face real quick. 1 second. I also want to say thank you to our incredible super chatters here. We got a super chat from PC who said, "Tall brother, I collect ancient coins. I own original Roman gold aurei and silver coins from Jewish revolts, AD 66 and 70, and later on museum quality. It's unbelievable. I'm also in a bit of a coin collecting phase in my life right now because they're so amazing. They show so much proof of Jewish indigeneity in the land. It's unbelievable. So thank you for the super chat, and I'm happy you're also collecting coins. And also Leo wrote us I think this is 5 rand from South Africa, I believe. Even if he is not region Palestine, except his governance in the West Bank, Israel occupying that land will become up. I can't read this comment. Can you try to super chat again and rewrite this comment, brother? Even if he is not region Palestine, except his governance in the West Bank, Israel occupying that land will become apartheid. I don't totally understand what you're trying to say there, but I appreciate the super chat. Nonetheless, also, we are chugging along here. Holy shit, it's really starting to move now. Thank you, everybody who's subscribing. 399,808. So we are 192 subscribers away from 400,000. All right. Policeman, I'm going to let you finish your last points here, and then I'm going to move on to somebody else. What did you want to finish off by saying?
Okay. If you please don't interrupt me, I'm going to explain
Go.
the context. So, for the audience, so the Transjordan mandate was separated in 1921.
Mm-hmm.
The king came in. He was accepted by the Bedouin tribes that were living in the area as the king. He's not occupying anything. No, Ukraine did not accept Russia as a king. That's why they are an occupier, and that's why they are occupying. The Jordanian king is not occupying anything. Neither is Abbas. Okay, that's my thought.
Cool, thanks. Appreciate you being a Palestinian propagandist, buddy. Keep calling in. You're fun. Hopefully we get a nice clip from you. Appreciate you, bro. Have a good day. All right, that was intense. I like that. That was a fun conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's really moving along right now. We're getting close. We're getting real close. 880 subs left. 185. Nathan, are you here with us? Can you unmute yourself?
Yo.
Hey. All right. All right. Well, let's put this guy on the map real quick. Let me pull up your. How can I pull it up? Hold on.
I don't know. All right.
Let me see
on the map.
I want to pull it up on screen. Can you send a link real quick to your page? Is that possible?
What? My Instagram?
Your Instagram, yeah, in the Discord.
In the Discord. I feel so old with this. I had to download
Discord really makes everyone feel old. Don't even take it personally. It's really just it's not so
The fuck. Well, whatever. Congrats on all the subscribers and your high blood pressure right now. Congrats on all that. I don't know how the fuck you do this. This is how you can just casually argue about this shit is I don't even know. I don't understand.
You know, I'd actually love to hear from your perspective as a stand-up comic how
my perspective.
Yeah,
I've given up on people. That's my perspective.
Because like I've
stopped.
I watch you up on stage
What?
I watch you up on stage on your reels, and you're able to bring an element of nuance to this dynamic. You know, obviously you don't get so political, but like I'd love to hear from your perspective. How do you balance the Israel-Palestine conflict like in your stand-up comedy?
So when this started, not when this started, but when America started, trying to give a fuck or whatever, they I was just yelling at people. Honestly, I was just arguing with people all the time and stuff. But then you kind of just start realizing like how much. Oh yeah, that's me. Look at those eyebrows, huh?
Go follow.
Almost as good as yours.
Follow him right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's fucking hilarious. Dude, during Passover, you were making me piss my pants. It was so funny.
Oh, with the rice?
Oh my God. It was so funny. It was so funny. I showed it to all my friends. Nobody found it as funny as I did, but I was like, this is gold. This is gold.
Oh, man. Yeah, man, it's just been, it's a lot of arguing, and then a lot of just, after a while, you just kind of go like, I can't change your mind, which is why I commend you for doing what you're doing. I don't know how you can, I mean, have you ever seen it where you've changed someone's mind?
Oh, yeah.
Based on what you said?
All the time. Even when I was in New York now, I did a little bit of work with this organization called Facts for Peace, and they brought me to Washington Square Park. They set up like a table, and they put up a sign that said, I'm an Arab Jewish Zionist, ask me anything. And I was wearing a keffiyeh, I had a kippah on my head, and people were extremely confused. I saw that a lot of people didn't want to touch me. Like people in New York were like, I don't want to fucking get into this because I'm going to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
But some people came to the table, and I had one specific like African-American dude who was sitting and talking to me about how it's a genocide and this, and I was like, bro, you don't know shit. And he got to the point where he was like, you're right. I got to do a lot more studying. Can you please not include me in the video? And I was like, I think that, I don't know if they're going to end up using his piece or not, but I'm like, you carried out like this talk like such a gentleman, because admitting that you don't know what you're talking about I have so much respect for that. If you can get to a point where you concede that you don't actually know what you're talking about in a classy way, not by getting up and cursing somebody like, fuck you, I'm leaving. Like you say, actually, you know what? I don't know enough about this topic. You win. It's essentially like, I think that's the most interesting, or I think that's the most powerful place to be, because that's an opportunity for that person to go ahead and learn and change their mind. And if they change their mind by talking to somebody like me or like you, for example, whose families were abused by Muslims who made us leave the countries we were in, and they don't have that nuanced perspective, like all of a sudden they leave with a new element to this conflict on their plate, and they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I was a little bit wrong about my perspective on the Jews.
Right. The thing is that when you talk to, that's true. When I talk to comedians, you have to get past their ego. That's the main difference, Yes.
Yeah. Somebody was asking what the comedian's name is. Is it Natan Badalov, ladies and gentlemen? Go follow him.
It's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. I'm funded by APAC. I just want you to know that.
I love this guy, man.
Not enough, by the way.
You and me both.
But yeah, it's all ego. Like there's a lot of Arab comedians and Muslim comedians that just like they appeal to emotion, and they just start talking. They literally say wrong things, sometimes even knowingly so, just because they know that they have white liberal Americans' empathy, and they take advantage of that. They always, if you ever like, if you have white liberal women's empathy on your side, then they will take that with them as far as they can go. You will get like, even now, you'll see it right now, like with television shows. They always say Jews run the media. Have you seen the documentary that won the Oscar? No Other Land. Really? Jews run the media? Then how did that win? It doesn't make any sense. And then all the television shows like Mo, like that's about a Palestinian guy who moved to Kuwait, or I think that's what it was. 2 seasons. What Jewish media would want that to even be made, let alone have 2 seasons of it? It doesn't even make sense. But anyway.
And ironically enough, there's a lot of Jews behind those projects too. Like a lot of Jews who are actually doing that. They're complicit in that stupid propaganda.
Oh, the anti-Zionist Jews?
Yeah, there's so many of them who work in those industries.
Oh, hell yeah. Yo, their self-hatred gets perpetuated. They do that. I was in a festival not too long ago, and I just remember, like, you could tell now, like, they weren't, I don't know how I got in. I think it's because I'm a brown Jew, because it was about diversity and stuff, so I somehow kind of got through the cracks or something like that. But I could tell, like, after they probably saw my posts, there were some white women there that were like the organizers, and I could tell they weren't looking at me. Like they just didn't want to look at me, and they were like, these subtle kind of tells where I'm like, oh, we're not like the flavor of the month right now, you know? And I don't know how long that's gonna last, and I don't know how that'll affect the future in terms of media. But it seems like you just have to do it yourself, which is what you're doing.
I genuinely, I was talking to somebody. I met. I don't know if you know who Rawan Osman is. Incredible advocate for Israel. She's a Syrian Lebanese woman who's become like an outspoken advocate for Israel. She's incredible. I was hanging out with her today in Tel Aviv, and I was telling her, she was like, "So how was America? You were there for a couple months." I was telling her, like I found the overall. I just found that kind of like American Jews and Americans in general are completely disinterested in the Mizrahi Jewish story. Like, I found that
they're white.
I found that nobody cares. Like, I was, and this is not to shame anybody. I'm proud of everything I did since I left 3 months ago. We spoke in the Caribbean to thousands of people, and I did like 4 different talks in America. But I was in America for 3 months or 2.5 months. I had an opportunity I would have done 50 in speaking engagements. And some of them I would have done for free. I wasn't even like that hell bent on stuff. Like I wanted to get paid for my time, but it was insane. Like there is no mainstream interest in our story and in properly combating the anti-Semitic narrative from the Arabs. Nobody cares. And I kind of I came back here to Israel. I was kind of like, well, fuck, man. I can't bark at the fucking tree all day and not get an answer. Right.
It's because you and I don't fit into their racial or oppressed way of thinking. Because you are brown, but you are a Jew, but the Jews are the white oppressors. Yeah. Isn't that what you say? You're like, hey, your favorite white colonizer. Yeah. Like you say that in the beginning of your video.
I even have a hat that says white colonizer on it with a big Magen David.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it doesn't it's interesting seeing people that think like that, and it also like those are people that don't travel. Like this stuff in a racial lens, like if you travel, like this stuff doesn't make sense. That's like I remember I used to have a joke about that where I'm like, you can't put that, like for example, Ukraine and Russia, like it would be confusing. You'd be like, oh, that's 2 white people. Why are you fighting? It's like, no, there's a lot more going on there.
Yeah.
And Serbia, Montenegro, like religious reasons, ethnic reasons, and all that stuff. But yeah, American Jews. I mean, you can be like very technical about it. I guess because of me being a comedian, I get very kind of like judgmental and stuff. Like to me, American Jews are like a completely different type of Jew. They're so ostracized from the Jewish experience that it's hard to connect with them, honestly. Like just seeing like 7th, 8th generation Jewish American white person where I'm like, you're just Jewish when it's like convenient. Like if you're on a date, you're just like, hey, no, I'm not white. I'm fucking Jewish. Hey, so, I'm interesting. So let me just call my great-great-great-grandma and say, hey, oppression or some shit like that,
And by the way, somebody was asking, I'm neutral, was saying Serbia, Montenegro. If you don't know, the Balkan region, I traveled there a couple of years back. I went to like Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Albania, Croatia, and Macedonia in one trip. And it's the most interesting place ever because it's like the Israel-Palestine conflict, but over the course of 7 countries. They all hate each other. Every border you cross, they're talking shit about the last country. And they just fought a bloody war about it. It's the most fascinating thing. And like I would go into somebody's house, I was couch surfing there, and they'd be like, "What? Fuck Montenegro." I'm like, what about why? All they do, they're super lazy. They just chill on the beach and they go to Serbia and they'd be like, "Fuck Kosovo." I'm like, what the hell? What do these people do?
Right. It's a religious thing, no? Or no?
Partly,
it's an ethnicity thing?
It's partly religious, it's partly ethnic, but the funny thing is like how quote unquote white people or people outside of the Middle East will look at Israel, Palestine, and just be like, there's a bunch of brown people killing each other. It's a bunch of brown people fucking fighting.
Yeah.
They don't see the nuances of what's actually going on. It's like I kind of felt that when I went to the Balkan region. I was like, I can't really tell the difference between a lot of you. You're speaking almost exactly the same language. You eat the same fucking food. One's angry about cevapi and one's angry about kebapi, and they're all fucking eating the same shit. And I found them to be really lovely people. They all were really nice to me. So I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who here's the bad guy? I couldn't find it.
Right. I remember there was one Albanian comic. He was telling me that Serbians are the ones that are the most hated. Serbians, because they had what's the guy, the Milosevic,
Yeah.
right? So then they're like, yeah, it's because of them, because they think they're superior. They
Well,
want it to kind of like ethnically cleanse and all that.
until you go to Serbia and Montenegro, and then they'll be like, "Fuck the Albanians," you know. And then if you go to Macedonia and you're like, "I love Greece," they'll be like, "Fuck you! You don't say the word Greece around here." And then Greece is like, "Don't say Macedonia." Alexander the Great was Greek; he wasn't Macedonian.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I really wish that for like American Jews, I don't know how to get them to learn or anything. I don't know. I don't know what your experience was talking to like white American Jews. Did you talk to many anti-Zionist Jews
Not
when you were
so
in America?
many. I mean, like in New York, mostly. I only had a few opportunities to speak to, like very few. But no, first I find that anti-Zionist Jews won't talk to me, regardless if I'm trying to speak to them online or in person. It's just not really interested in having a conversation with me, because again, like I think that's part of one of the reasons why like rabid pro-Palestinians don't want to talk to me either, because my family's narrative directly negates their whole fucking Nakba bullshit.
Yes.
Their whole it negates all of it. I'm like, where are my fucking reparations? Where are my take your pan-Arab ideology, shove it up your ass, give me a house in Baghdad, and we can have a conversation about you coming back home. But first fix me up first, and then we'll have a conversation about it. I'm not letting go of anything here until you fix me up first. I can't do like that. I can't trust you that you're gonna not murder me when I go back to living in Iraq. So I find that they don't really want to talk to me. But what I did find is that I don't feel comfortable calling them white Jews, but I see what you're saying, even if it's like a little bit on the nose. Like Jews who are far removed from the experience of Israel or the Middle East, that I had an opportunity to speak to in places like Texas. Some of them I was the first Mizrahi Jew that they ever met, and some they didn't even know what Mizrahi Jews were. And I even had people after the lecture that I would give, they would be like, so are you Arab or are you Jewish? Are you a Muslim? I'd be like, I just fucking spoke for an hour and a half about being a Jew.
Yeah.
And you're asking me if I'm fucking Muslim? What do you mean?
Jesus Christ.
But I had this happen to me even in Israel by like influencers or creators who are like pro-Israel advocates, American Jews, who will come up to me and be like, but Tal, I can't understand. You speak in Arabic in your videos. Are you an Arab? Are you a Muslim? Or are you Jewish? I'm like...
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And I think that there's really no way to educate the masses of American Jewry unless we like rabidly go in there. It needs to be aggressive. It needs to be like an aggressive re-education program. But the problem is whatever the establishment is of Jewish propaganda in America, they seem to be extremely disinterested in our story. They don't want to know. They don't really care.
How do you educate someone that doesn't want to be educated?
So I try to do it.
If they're an adult.
I try to do it with my propaganda, with my my content creation. Like fuck it. You want to call me a propagandist? Fuck it, I am. That's what I do. I'm not funded by anyone, but that's what I do. I'm funded by my fucking awesome fans who are here on the channel right now, but I'm not funded by any organization. So it's one by gathering an army of people who believe in me, which Baruch Hashem I have. But I don't know. I feel like more of what I did now is just like going in there, infiltrating these spaces that are dominated by X amount of voices and trying to start really hammering into home. In every lecture I gave, I told them, you guys want to know the solution to this anti-Semitism from the Arabs you're dealing with? Put Ethiopian and Mizrahi Jews in front of every single Jewish event you're doing right now. Unapologetic. It should feel racist. It should feel tokenizing. And they would all like chuckle, and I'd be like, you're laughing, but I'm being serious.
It's true. It's true. You have to take their mindset and flip it on them. Yeah, it's very true.
Yep.
They'll be like, what the fuck? You're brown. You should be. It'll fuck with their whole reality.
Yeah. They won't know what to do.
Speaking of reparations, I remember I used to pull a prank where I would during COVID, I would DM Uzbek politicians, and I would be like, so where is the reparations application? And I would like screenshot it. And I remember like There were actually people that followed me. They're like, "Hey, did they reply? Because I picked cotton like 30 years ago, and I've never gotten paid for it." And I'm like, "What the fuck? This is terrible." And so far, they haven't given me any kind of reparations or anything like that. But dude, they fucking.
I followed the Iraqi prime minister on Twitter yesterday, and I want to try to get in his DMs and see if I can start a conversation. But I was like,
There's one way. What?
I was translating his tweets, and it's all about like Arab unity and we're the part of the Arab family, and I was like, there's no hope. He's never gonna listen to a Jew.
You know what would be funny would be like if you get his. They all have assistants. There's no way that they're completely uncut. If you get their assistants, you know one way you could do it because you speak their language, no?
A little bit. I'm not fluent enough to really have a conversation yet.
If you can talk your way into that, you could just be like, bro, I was here last week. I have an appointment. Can I just get a phone call? Just fuck with them. Nobody knows what's real anymore.
Honestly, it's true. Honestly, it's true.
You could just fuck with them all the way to the top and then just start like, but you know what would be worse would be like, oh, this guy's from Mossad. He's fucking like, he didn't think you're a sleeper cell.
Bro, if I'm from Mossad, I'm the shittiest Mossad agent. What kind of Mossad agent has 400,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel?
Yeah, and your face is there. Your face is seen right now.
I always find that so funny when everybody's like, you're getting paid by Mossad, you're getting paid by this. I'm like, really? Are they that indiscriminate? Like, they just fucking, they're like, yeah, we'll just fund this YouTube channel publicly.
You know how, I don't even know where, I wish that all these conspiracy theories was true. I got an email last time saying to go on Birthright as like a volunteer or something. They wanted me to pay. And I'm like, where the fuck is the conspiracy theory? Shouldn't you afford my flight? Aren't they supposed to be free? What's going on?
Bro, that's
ridiculous.
That is fucking genius. We need to propagate that all over the Jewish world. You know, Birthright's making you pay now?
Yeah. Yeah, you should make me go in there just so I can start taking pictures of the fucking Western Wall and be like, yo, this place is cool. Come in.
I bet it's because
free publicity.
I bet it's because you're Bukhari. I bet Ashkenazi Jews don't get the same treatment.
Oh yeah. They need them to come in. If anything, that would be good. But no, never mind. What were you gonna say?
We're joking. It's jokes. Nobody get offended. All right. Anyways, Nathan, thank you so much for calling in, bro. I'm gonna take another caller. Appreciate you, man. Really great to talk to you, bro. See you, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Guys, go follow him right now if you didn't already. Natan Badalov. He is an incredible comic out of New York City. Uzbeki Jewish, Bukharian Jewish. Probably I shouldn't say Uzbeki. I'll probably get angry at that. Bukharian Jewish. Go give him a follow. He's fucking awesome. He's so funny. Also, let's take a moment just to acknowledge you guys have been working while I've been taking callers. We're at 399,834. So we need another like 60 something, 67. No, sorry, 167 subscribers. We can totally do that. I think we can totally hit this on stream today. I would be shocked if we're not able to hit it on stream today. Guys, please take a moment. Last time I said it, you guys helped me get a big boost here. Let everybody you know right now, where there's almost 300 people watching this stream, if you just let one person in your family, your friend, your best friend right now, know that you need him to subscribe or you need her to subscribe to my YouTube channel, just one other person, we need to hit the goal immediately. We're almost there. Come on, you guys can totally do it. And obviously, it's the best thing you can do to help the channel right now. So Leo was saying, he super chatted another $10, said, when Jordan occupied the West Bank, they gave right to the Palestinians. They received Jordanian citizenship. If Israel occupies without granting citizenship, it will become an apartheid regime. Israel does offer citizenship to certain Palestinians in certain parts of Jerusalem where they're able to. The problem is the proposed Palestinian state has never gotten its shit together to actually govern itself. And they do offer in East Jerusalem, for example, citizenship to Palestinians, and they reject it because they don't want to be a part of Israel. So they continue to live under apartheid, or whatever the fuck that means, because it's not real apartheid. Obviously, there's issues, and those issues need to be sorted out, but they don't live under apartheid. But a lot of these people don't even want to accept citizenship from Israel, so they just keep living in a limbo. Daniel Benjamin gives us $5 and said, "I'll totally buy a white colonizer tank top. Yalla, it's summer. I love it. Get one. I don't think I have tank tops on the shop yet. We could look into that, but I appreciate you, bro. Thank you." Shauna dropped us $5 and said, West Germans, Western French, and English are genetically the same people. But because I just said I can't show my face in any of those countries. Thank you, Shauna, for the super chat. And Shaolin said, Discord invite link isn't working. Oh, damn. I'm not sure what's going on with the Discord. Let me see if I can invite to channel. Copy. Let's try this one. Okay. If you guys just feel free to copy paste this and send it to people on the thing so we get more callers. All right. We got a lot of people queued up to call here. Let's see. Who should we bring on? Checkmate 1. Are you here?
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, well, cheers. Thanks for having me. All the way from, what is it, Melbourne, Australia. So it's 3 a.m. in the morning here. Why am I still awake?
Fucking sick cunt, mate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I've got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
The first one is in regards to the events that's been happening over here in Melbourne, because we've had large Palestinian protests that have been occurring on a weekly basis that started our state library and head down. I don't know if you've heard of a small group called the Lions of Zion that has been gathering and trying to basically show a Jewish presence to basically say, hey, we're still here, we're not going to go anywhere. I happen to be one of them. So I would be curious as to your thoughts on what we in the diaspora can do to try and get a wider view to the whole world as to what's actually taking place, not just in Israel, but also outside of Israel. And the other one is, what do you think where it can be done to solve the problem of Israeli teachers within Israel that are teaching the whole silly Nakba narrative?
Wow. Okay, well, so for the first question, I think it's a pretty easy answer. I really believe, I've been getting this question a lot recently too. I think the biggest thing that everyone can do in the diaspora, regardless of how you feel, what racial background you come from, what your story is, what your Jewish story is, if you're a friend of Israel, if you're a Jew, if you're not, whatever it is, biggest thing that you can do is educate yourself. I really believe that each person who's interested in speaking on this conflict or partaking in advocacy for it, whether that be in front of the camera, behind the camera, whatever it be, I really believe that you need to educate yourself first. First, you need mass education on the subject. And that means it encompasses the Mizrahi Jewish story, the Ashkenazi Jewish story, the Ethiopian Jewish story, and then the wider Israelite story. Like really having a rudimentary understanding of what you're talking about, what you're advocating for. Because the last thing that you want to do as somebody who's protesting outside of Parliament in Australia, whatever it is be faced with a question from a camera and answer ignorantly. Or have a conversation with somebody and you're ignorant about what you're actually talking about. So I always say, like, it doesn't mean you can't advocate and you can concede certain points that you're not sure about. But I think the biggest thing, the most important thing is first have a mass understanding of the issue that you're talking about. You should really, really understand what you're actually advocating for. So that's that question hopefully answered. And I wish that it was more. Like, I wish there was a better answer for that. It's like, hey, you could do this now. The reality is...
I know what you mean. It's a tough one. I think the most difficult part of it at the moment is actually finding the cameras that are willing to even speak to us, because I find that most of us are extremely knowledgeable of what we're talking about, but the media wants nothing to do with us.
Yeah, so that means going out. That means going out and be like whatever I'm not sure specifically what these Lions of Zion organization is, but specifically going out and trying to be in front of other people's cameras is a great thing. If you feel like you're well educated on the subject to talk about it, absolutely. Trying to force yourself into the spotlight. And then as for the teachers who are teaching this whole Nakba bullshit in Israel, look, the Palestinians, they have a genuine grievance. And I don't have a problem necessarily with teaching about what is perceived to be the Nakba, as long as it comes with nuance. It has to come with a serious understanding and explanation of what Palestinian leaders have actually done in their past to represent Palestine and what Pan-Arabism is. So as long as it's adjusted, like for example, if teachers in Israel want to start teaching about the Nakba to sympathize with Palestinians, I have no problem with it as long as they were to add the truth behind Pan-Arabism and the cancer that Islamism and jihadism brought to this region alongside it. Because if you explain the Nakba in, like they always like to say, October 7th didn't happen in a vacuum, history didn't start on October 7th. Well, buddy, history didn't start in October on 1948 either. You know, it didn't start on October 7th, but it definitely it didn't start in 1948. It started way beyond that as Muslims and Arabs were conquering and colonizing and oppressing Jewish people in this
absolutely,
region.
and we can trace that well back into the Quran, the Hadith, and plenty of other Islamic texts as well. I bring it up because I've got someone who I am not a friend with personally, but I was chatting on a well-known rabbi's Facebook with someone who is apparently made Aliyah to Israel and is apparently teaching Jewish history and stuff, and was apparently teaching the Nakba narrative. And yet I'm finding myself explaining to him the difference between the Palestinian identity and what the Palestinians were back pre-1948. And I say that as someone who, one of my grandparents, believe it or not, was born in Jaffa in the 1920s. So I'm Palestinian. That might screw with many people's heads, but it's the way things are. So it's like I'm seeing people that are teaching things and clearly not knowing what they're teaching, so they shouldn't actually be in that role.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, we have a lot to do with actually empowering Israelis on the inside to understand their own history, because unfortunately, just like every other country, people forget that Israelis are normal human beings like everyone else. We have a lot of dumb Israelis. We have a lot of Israelis that are not educated as well. Like, not every Israeli is a fucking genius, a propagandist machine who's able to just pull out dates and shit. Like, I'm a fucking psychopath, so that's why I remember all this stuff. And that's how every person in this space who's doing this advocacy work is just like me. Like, we're all there. There's something wrong with all of us. But we care so much to remember all these dates. The average Israeli, you walk on the street with, they ask them when the state was established, they'll be like, I don't know. They don't remember. And it's not me working out to make Israelis as dumb. But a lot of Israelis don't even know their own history nowadays. Don't forget, we're already like four to five.
No different from the Americans that can't put themselves on a map.
But it's no difference than anywhere. Like, if you ask an Iraqi what their history is, they don't fucking know. You ask in Saudi what their history is, they don't know. You ask a Lebanese person, they have no idea. Like, none of these people, we're so far removed now from these conflicts that started the wars we're currently in. A lot of people have a hard time remembering the fine details and facts. So it's no surprise to me that there's teachers who are teaching this stuff. I would just say it's our job, who are people who are fighting for the pro-Israel, pro-Zionist sphere. Just like, fine, but let's back it up with some more history. Like, you got to be more nuanced. You want to teach about the Nakba? You want to teach about the bad things that happen to the Palestinians because bad things happen to them? I'm about it. I'm not against it. I'm about it. I'm down for it. But you got to teach it in the context of the truth. It can't be isolated to just what happened to them. You have to explain that in 1929 Palestinians massacred Jewish people in Hebron and in Tzfat and in Jaffa. You have to explain that 7 years before that they did that also. You have to explain that in the 1700s Yemenite Jews were running from Yemen because of Islamic persecution. And they did that in the 1800s and in the 1900s. You got to explain all of it. You got to explain that Iraqi Jews used to migrate to Israel to come do pilgrimage here, but were too afraid to resettle in Israel because they were so anti-Semitic here. Because whoever was running Palestine at the time, whether you want to call them Palestinian or Ottoman or whatever the fuck you want to call them, they were so racist against Jews, they rather come here on donkeys and go back to Iraq. Because that's how dangerous it was for them.
Yep.
So nuance.
It's very, very true.
Nuance is important.
What concerns me is the worry that most people on this planet seem to not be able to take in nuance, but that's a completely separate issue.
Absolutely, but it's the one thing we have to all fight for is nuance, because without it, we're playing with fire. We need it.
Agreed. Before I disappear, I'm just going to put a link in the Discord chat to a video I put up earlier. When you asked about the Lions of Zion, this was the group of us that are confronting the mob. So you can see it there in the Discord chat now. And it's effectively thousands of pro-Palestinians against us, which are numbering in the dozens.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you so much calling in, my brother. Thanks for being here with us. Talk to you soon.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for doing all this. And
all right, Mr. Vinny, you're on with us. What's up, brother Vinny? Vinny the Baker.
Thanks, man. I'm sorry I wasn't on there before. I have a easy question for you, at least a simple one.
Hit me. Guys, by the way, Vinny has an incredible bagel spot. Remind me the name?
Better Baker.
Better Baker in Edmonton. I got it.
Yes, sir. Thanks for
I got it. Vinny's out here being a handsome Jewish stud. Hold on, I'm going to pull up the Instagram real quick. Being a handsome Jewish stud. He rocks my merch every once in a while. Better Baker, right? Better Baker. Why is
Yeah,
it? There it is. Go give him a follow right now on Instagram. Go show him some love. Follow his page. Oops. Go follow his page right now. He's out there in Canada making us bagels all day, every day. If you're on my Discord, you can watch him just live in the dough. Him and his whole team. Fucking, I don't know what the word is for. Oh, kneading that dough. It's very impressive. All right, Vinny, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate the shout out too.
You got it, man.
So, seems like every Jew I ever see, everybody's got a necklace of some sort, right? They got a Magen David, they got a Am Yisrael High, they got a High, something, right? Everybody. It's like I'm almost never seen a Jew without a necklace. Plain question: do you think everyone everywhere who's a Jew, Europe, Canada, the States, should they be hiding it? Should they be putting that away? What do you think?
You know, I have even a little bit of guilt with this one. Do you mind placing yourself on mute, Vinny? There's a little bit of an echo. So I've spoken about this story not so often, but I'll say it again now for those of you who don't know. Also, by the way, everyone subscribe right now because we're getting real close. We're almost at 150 subs away from 400,000. So please subscribe. So when I was in my bar mitzvah, my aunt on my dad's side, my dad's sister, she bought me a Magen David necklace, a beautiful Magen. Oh, Vinny disappeared. Should I wait until Vinny comes back? I'm sure he's going to come back in a second. There he is. Okay, he's back.
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, I thought it looked like you disappeared. So when I was 13 in my bar mitzvah, my aunt, she bought me this beautiful Magen David necklace. It was like a silver Magen David with a circle and gold on the inside. It was the first thing of gold that anybody in my family ever gave me. Not a lot of gold. It was a very small amount of gold, but in the middle. And I wore it for a long time. I thought it was the most beautiful like piece of jewelry I ever had. I wore it till I was like 18 years old, 18 years old. I wore it. And even when I struggled with my faith, because I went through a time where I really struggled with Judaism, and I started looking at other religions, and I called myself an atheist when I was a teenager. I hated being a part of Judaism. I hated Israel. I went through that phase. I'm very ashamed of it, but I did. I still wore that necklace. And when I started traveling, the first time I ever went anywhere on my own, I was going to London, and then I went to Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa. My mom forced me to take off my necklace. My mom, she asked me, please don't wear the Magen David wherever you're going. So I took it off. And when I came back from this big trip that was like monumental for my life, I never felt, I don't even explain it. Like I never felt comfortable wearing it again. Even now, when I was back home in Miami, I only see this necklace every couple of years when I go back. I looked at the necklace, I picked it up, and I was like, do I want to replace it with my amazing necklace that I have now? I was kind of thinking, like, should I retake this and start wearing it again? But I looked at it, and something didn't make sense to me. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's shame or if it's embarrassment that I haven't been wearing it in my travels, but I took down the necklace because, you know, I didn't serve in the army. I've never been in a fight in my life. I don't feel like I could probably defend myself if I got attacked by people. I'm not at that point in my life. I'd like to get to that point at some point in the future, but I'm not there right now. And I've always felt that when I traveled, I've had to be a little bit more conniving about how I present my Judaism and my Israeli heritage to people. So I would always take this perspective of make somebody fall in love with me first before I lay onto them my identity and who I actually am. And that always requires a lot of times for me to lie about who I am. I'm not necessarily happy that I have to do it, but I do think that it's a blessing, like in some ways. For example, when I was in South Korea, I landed and I had to take an 1.5-hour ride with an Egyptian anti-Semite who hates Israel. And I played that I was an Iraqi Muslim. I played the role. And that was one of those conversations where there was no in to ever tell him I was a Jew. So the whole ride was a lie. I think that not every single Jew, as much as I like to embody every Jew being a fighter and being a loud and proud advocate, I don't think that every single Jew, every single person who's pro-Israel needs to put themselves on the forefront and risk their lives for the sake of Israel or for the sake of being a Jew. Some Jews will tell you that's wrong. I don't think every single person is built for it. I don't think every single person needs to. And again, I'll give you myself as an example right now. I've sort of come to terms with the fact that at some point I'm going to be physically assaulted. I honestly was fully expecting it in New York, and it didn't happen, which made me very happy. But I was fully expecting somebody to come up and just fucking punch me at some point. Like, I was expecting it. And I know myself that I wouldn't be able to really defend myself at this point. I mean, I could probably put up a fight for a couple minutes or a couple seconds, but I don't know how far that would really go. I have no experience with that. So I always think is like I have to kind of be a little bit smarter about how I do it. And I think there's a lot of Jews, I would even say probably a majority of Jews out there are of that perspective. They don't have the confidence to full on fight, to be a fighter. So I think you don't have to hide your Judaism per se. I think in certain situations probably smarter too. But just be smart about your Judaism. Be smart about how you present. I think one of the things that makes us a really special group of people is our immense intelligence and our immense problem-solving capabilities and our capabilities to think outside the box and be really ingenuitive and think about new ways to tackle different problems. And if that means you need to sort of be a little bit like a snake and slither around these questions and then eventually bring somebody onto your side in a sort of backwards way, that's not the worst thing in the world. But I'll add a big but onto that. There's a great Instagram personality, a friend of mine. His name is Sami Yahud, if you follow him on Instagram. He's Egyptian, Ashkenazi Jew, born and raised in London. Fantastic guy. I really, really love this dude. And he has recently taken it upon himself to inspire Jewish people to become fighters. To become like proper fighters. To really be able to stand up against Islamists and jihadists in a fight, like physically in a fight, but also in the tone and the demeanor. So I have like the tone and the demeanor thing down. I think that the fighting thing is something I need to work on, like to be able to be confident, to be able to put up a fight or defend myself. And I think that every Jew needs to make this calculation. Every Jew needs to make this calculation to say, do I want to be the fighter Jew or do I want to be the submissive Jew? Or do I want to be the fighter Jew or do I want to be the quiet Jew? Do I want to be the fighter? Do I want to be the loud and proud Jew who's able to defend himself and the people around him? Or do I want to be the backseat Jew? And I don't think that it's wrong or right, either path that you choose, but you need to make that decision for yourself. And then that's the one thing that you have to do, that you owe to yourself, is you need to make that decision and say, I want to do this or I want to do this. You can't be in between. Because as a Jew, you're just not afforded that right by the world. I wish it was different. I do. I wish you didn't have to make that decision. I think you probably do as well, Vinny. But the truth is we don't have that right. As Jews, we don't have right. We don't have a right every time or everywhere. So you have as a Jew, you have to make that decision. Do I want to be the one on the forefront risking my life? Or do I want to be the one that's more quiet? If you're going to be more quiet, that's not a problem. Just, I would say, find a way to still advocate for your country and make people fall in love with you and your personality and your story behind the scenes. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Painful to hear in a way, but true. Yeah.
You know, I wish I could have the same demeanor that my friends like Rudy and Yirmiyahu have about how like you should just be a loud and proud Jew 24/7 all the time. I'd be lying. I'd be like lying if I said that, because I'm not that. Like, I don't feel like I can always just be a loud and proud Jew in every single situation. Because I haven't been in a fight. I don't know how to defend myself in every single aspect. I could do it with the words. I don't know if I could do it with physical violence. And sometimes these situations, they turn physically violent. So, you know, I wish I could be more of like a macho man and tell you guys, yeah, fucking get in the ring, fuck everyone up. It's not the truth. It's not me. But I appreciate you calling in, brother. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Keep making those bagels, Vinny. We appreciate you. All right, The Croc, 1976. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tal. My name is Alex. I'm from Israel.
Hi, Alex. Welcome.
I wanted to ask you about in Russia. Do you know what we are doing with traitors?
Execution?
Yes. So what should we do with Notorei Karta, who are burning Israeli flags? What should we do with Haredim, who is burning Israeli flags? What should we do with them?
Not kill them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Keep them around. Keep them parasites on our necks, right?
No, I think that for sure, for people like this, there needs to be certain rights stripped away. Like, for example, this right that all Haredi people have had forever.
They're saying we are not part of Israel. They're literally saying it.
Yeah, so I think the right for all of these Haredi people to not be able to serve in the army or to... Oh, his volume is a little low yet. One sec, I'll bring his volume up. The right for all of these Haredi people or these anti-Israel, anti-Zionist Jewish people in Israel to not serve in the army, to not give back to the country is not right.
It's not about even serving in the army. It's about they hate our country. Why do we live here?
So listen, let me finish what I'm saying. I'm saying this idea that we've just absolved these people, and this, by the way, goes towards the Muslims as well, because they actually have a crossover in their behavior. There's a lot of Arabs and Muslims that they don't have to fight for this country or they don't have to give back to this country. So you let them embolden their hatred more for this country. And that goes the same for these anti-Zionist Jews who they don't have to fight for this country in any way, shape, or form. And you just let them embolden their hate. If you force them to fight or to give back or to volunteer for this country, I'm not saying that you're going to fix the issue 100%, but you're giving a better chance for these people to develop a certain stake in this land. If you force somebody to go do Shirut Leumi, national service,
they already hate us. What's the difference?
You have to. The thing is, you can't run. I mean, again, this goes back to the core thing that I always say is, which I don't think this country can survive as a democracy, but you have to force certain elements of this society to do what they need to do.
Can you speak in Hebrew or not?
You can speak in Hebrew. I can try to translate it.
יש לנו בארץ חברת אנשים שלא משרתים, לא עובדים.
He's saying that there's a group of people in this country who don't serve, who don't work. They burn our flag. They say themselves that they don't want to be under the state of Israel. He's asking me if I remember when they when they chanted and sang against the government. Huh? Well, I don't think we need to kill them.
I agree, kick them out.
I don't agree with necessarily kicking them out either, but I think this is a larger conversation that we need to have about how we carry ourselves into the future. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's just words. It's just empty words, Tal.
It's not empty words. This is the problem with Israeli society today, and I have this issue with my own family. Is like, if you want this country to survive long term, you have to really decide where we're going moving forward.
More empty words, Tal. You don't give me any solutions,
brother. You can call it empty words all day, but I'm not here to insult your intelligence. But if you're not able to open up your mind to what I'm actually saying, that's on you. That's not on me. It's not empty. It's actually the most meaningful words. Brother, I've been in Masharim. I've met with some of the biggest rabbis there. I've been with the Neturei Karta. I've been to I know exactly what they do. I've seen the Palestinian flags. I've seen the incest. I've seen everything. I've seen everything you can imagine. I've been in and out of this country in every corner you could imagine. I don't believe in throwing them out of the country. I don't believe in killing them. I believe that you need to have a conversation within yourself of where is Israel heading? What do you want for this nation? How do you see yourself surviving in this region moving forward? It's a conversation that none of us are willing to have. So the problem is, if you want a Medina Chilonit and you want a Medina Chofshit, they have the right to do what they want to do.
But there is a limit for what one can do.
You want a Medina Chofshit and Chilonit. This is the... But so, like, if somebody in Tel Aviv were to protest right now and say they hate God, they hate Israel, they don't want to be under Israeli government and burn an Israeli flag, would you still want to kick them out of the country? Would you still want to kill them?
Yes.
But I don't think that's right. But there's people who are going to be born here who are going to hate this country no matter what. It's not the right answer. You have to have a nuanced conversation about where we are going as a nation. Where is this whole project of Israel going?
What we do with these people in every other country? Tell me.
So again, you have to have that conversation. Are you okay with being... I'm actually okay with it. I kind of agree with you. I'm saying I agree with your perspective. I think we should be more like authoritarian the way that... And authoritarian is the wrong way. Everybody calm down. Don't get angry at me. I'm not saying authoritarian and like... I don't want us to become Syria. But we have to reformat how we're thinking about where we're going. But the thing is, akhi, you have to understand this. If you're having that conversation, you got to think about the whole thing. It can't be only on this one aspect. It can't be just about the Haredim or the anti-Israel Jews. You have to reformat the whole system. If you want to have Medina Chiloni, a secular democratic country, you can't do what you're talking about in a secular democratic country. I don't believe, and while I appreciate the democracy and the secularism of Israel, I can appreciate aspects of it. When I look at the long term, I don't know how we survive. I really don't know how we survive this region like this. I don't see it working. I want it to, but I don't see it working. And what you're talking about, the issue you're talking about, plays directly into that. I think a lot of these people can be a real big threat to our country. They're hurting our country from the inside. Do you understand what am I saying? Am I making more sense, or is it still empty words to you?
Look, maybe I simply do not understand you. Maybe I'm of different mentalities. You see, I came from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what you do in Russia to people like this.
Correct, but do you want Israel to be like Russia?
No.
Okay, so, but if you want to implement one side...
There must be some limits.
Okay, but if you start, where does it end? Like, who gets to decide those limits? You or the government or the people?
There must be law against... No, I'm not saying against government because I hate this government. I think they'll need to be replaced. I hate them. I hate Bibi. But there must be a limit, you know?
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I think I think you're limiting just as one little thing, and it's a big thing, but it's still just one little piece of the puzzle. It's not really going to help you get anywhere. You need to look at the whole picture, the whole state as a whole. Where are we going? Where are we heading? Where is this project going?
It's not a project. We Jews have returned to our ancestral homeland. It is our homeland. Despite all the Arab lies about some great Palestinian state, it's a lie. There never has been a Palestinian state.
Correct.
The entire Palestinian narrative comes from 1964 by Arafat. They are all liars. They are lying to the world, but that's not the thing that amazes me. The thing that amazes me is that Europeans so stupid, they blindly believe everything they are told on social media, on the news, which is, by the way, also lying, because they are taking on the information from Hamas. Hamas always lies. These people so stupid. Look how many people in the demonstrations. How can they be so stupid?
All right, my brother. Well, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your perspective.
Yes, thank you. Mute me. I'm going to listen now.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for sharing. I think it was an interesting conversation. We didn't really get anywhere, but I think it's an interesting conversation nonetheless. It's just something for people to understand. There's a lot of nuanced conversation that needs to be had about Israel internally as well. It's not just the survival aspect, but the survival aspect keeps us so busy all the time that we never really get a chance to talk about it. And I struggle with this topic. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, right now, we are only 147 subscribers away from 400,000. We've kind of slowed down a bit. I really need your guys' help to hit this milestone. Please, please, please help Tall. Help me get to 400,000 subscribers right now by telling one other person to subscribe. Just one other person that you know. Send them a link to the channel. Tell them to subscribe. Hey, right now my friend's trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. Help him hit it. I would really love to before I get off the stream here today. I did think we'd be able to go a little bit faster, but I get it. Everyone's busy. People got shit going on. But it would mean a lot to me if you guys were able to do this with me right now on stream. So we're just inching away. We're so close. 147 subscribers away. That's insane from 400,000. I honestly never thought in a million years I would get to 400,000 subscribers. I always thought when I got to 200,000, I would be like that. I thought that was over. I was like, there's no way. I've got no passion to keep fighting for 500, for 1 million. It's crazy. I never thought my trajectory would actually get there. I thought I'd peak at like maybe 300,000, maybe 350,000. But when you get to 400,000, that's like you're only 100K away from 500. That's 500,000. That's insane. And once you're at 500,000, you're only 500,000 away from 1 million. That's crazy. So, okay, somebody's telling me speak to Isaiah. I don't see Isaiah on here. Is Isaiah on here?
Can you hear me?
You are. There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, I've been wanting to come on. Thank you so much for letting me the opportunity to speak on your show. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
I'm glad that I got to follow up from the previous caller, because one thing that I love about what you do, Tal, is you try to sort of marry the concept of secular Zionism with the religious Zionism. And I think there is significant overlap here. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with, are you familiar with the eulogy that Rav Kook, Rav Abraham Kook, you're familiar with him?
A little bit.
Right. So he was the first, I think, chief rabbi of Israel, if I'm not mistaken. And he was one of the, a lot of the, so you have the Neturei Karta, which is notoriously anti-Zionist, quote unquote. But Rav Kook was one of the people who was right in step with the vision of Theodor Herzl, who happened to be like Haredi. And he, in his eulogy to Theodor Herzl, and you can look this up, he quotes from a very particular scripture from the Tanakh, just, to make it clear. My name's Isaiah 53 on here because it's an ironic play on, I want to reclaim Isaiah 53, just in veiled terms, if you're familiar why. I don't want to go into too much detail as to why, but the point being that
hashtag stop missionizing Israel, please.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, you got it. And that's what my YouTube channel is about. But
so you're in the
Tovia Singer. Yeah, I'm in the
Tovia Singer pool. Yeah.
Right. So that was my primary reason of creating my channel, Yehudi Yisrael, which is just my Hebrew name. A lot of people think, oh, you like made up something. No, I'm just an Ashkenazi Jew, and I'm named after my deceased ancestors. So there you go. But the point being that Rav Kook was right in step with Theodor Herzl's vision from the religious perspective. And he starts quoting from a particular passage in the Tanakh, which happens to be that a lot of the oppositions to my channel love this chapter of the Tanakh, Zechariah chapter 12. And it describes, have you heard of the war of Magog and Magog? Are you familiar with this concept? So that is the core scripture, one of the core scriptures. I think it's either in the end of Ezekiel, like 38, 39. That's the other reference for this. Zechariah 12 also, and Zechariah 14 also mention this final war. And what's fascinating about this is it says in Zechariah chapter 12 that the Jews will be in Jerusalem prior to the coming of Mashiach, right? Because the whole point of Mashiach is to end war, right? That's the whole idea that, we're all saying, well, Mashiach isn't here yet because we still have war. So just before the coming of Mashiach, there's going to be a war. And it says that war will be against Yehudim in Yerushalayim. And it literally uses the word the house of Yehuda, right? And the house of David, which of course is where Mashiach would come from. And it says that we will be saved from our enemies and that our enemies will be destroyed. So I would ask any anti-Zionist religious Jews, how does that happen if we're all supposed to evacuate the land of Israel and give it back to the Palestinians and have no sovereignty over the land and just let it turn into another dhimmi apartheid Sharia law state? And by the way, I love what you did with that previous caller. I really hope you clip that and it goes viral and you reach your 400,000, because that was gold.
Thank you, bro.
What you did with that Jordan. I've never heard that. I usually say I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm just anti-mechanism. Why can't you do that in Europe? And then I say that's exactly what you say when you try to make a distinction between Zionism and Judaism, because Jerusalem is our homeland. And if you take that away from us, then a core principle of Judaism, whether you're religious, irreligious, whatever, it's in the Tanakh. That is, and it predates all of that. It predates Islam, it predates Christianity. And that's the main thing I wanted to say. Sorry, I don't know if you had anything to say about that. I had a couple more points maybe if you wanted to, but I was just curious what your thoughts were on that.
I mean, you kind of went in a bunch of different directions, so it's kind of hard to comment on specifically what you were saying. But I would say yes, like this argument of criticizing. I think just the Arab world in general needs more criticism. People kind of became afraid to criticize Arabs, and that's a really dangerous place to be because I think it's a really dangerous place to be with Jewish people as well. Like if we become untouchable, which sometimes in American Jewish circles they do that. Where, like you say, the slightest thing that sounds anti-Semitic, they blast you, they silence you, they mute you. It's not smart. And I think that the Arab circles are like just like that by default. If you say something wrong or bad or about something that could be deemed as like insensitive against Arabs, you can get fucking murdered. That's fucked up. It shouldn't be like that. And so we got to call a spade, right? The Jordanian king is occupying sovereign Palestinian land. That can be a sovereign Palestinian state. The Jordanian king is occupying it. He's not from there. Their family is not from there. The Hashemites are from Mecca and Medina. Simple as that.
So I also say that the Al-Aqsa Mosque or the Dome of the Rock or whatever the heck it is, both of them, all of them together are occupying the Temple Mount, right? That is our holiest spot. What is it? Their third most holiest spot?
It's apartheid. But it is apartheid. The Jordanian Waqf, who controls the Temple Mount, is occupying sovereign land by a different state, okay? Who, by the way, this state of Israel has the right under international law to declare this site as a holy site for all religions, the same way it does for the Western world or for the Western Wall.
And by the way, that's in the scriptures.
Yes.
By the way, Isaiah chapter
but put
56,
the scriptures on the
verse 7
side.
says that.
Put the scriptures on the side for a second. Under international law, you have the right to dictate that as a holy site, but there is a foreign nation occupying it, and that waqf leads right back to Saudi Arabia. And this isn't a criticism on Saudi Arabia because Mohammed bin Salman has been great, but like this has been great recently to us. Hold on, nobody give me fire. I'm still trying to go to these places. All right, chill. Let's not talk about Saudi Arabia. But I'm saying the Jordanian Waqf, who leads back to the Hashemite kingdom, the Hashemite dynasty, this is somebody from the Arabian Peninsula occupying Levantine land. They're occupying Palestinian land. I did my DNA test. I'm 99% more Palestinian than I'm more Palestinian than 99% of Palestinians, and I know that now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my DNA.
So here's what's cool. I also did a DNA test. I'm 100% Ashkenazi Jew, but I already knew that. But here's what's fascinating. Okay, so there is a thing that was going viral on the internet that Netanyahu, Milikowski, Benjamin, right? They, how the Palestinian, pro anti-Zionists like to go around and say like, he's from Poland, whatever. And like at first I was a little bit taken aback because I had a similar DNA signature to his. But then I realized that, so for example, his DNA signature is actually the same signature as 60%, I think, of Ashkenazi Levites. Because I don't know if you knew this, but Netanyahu is actually, his family has a lineage of being from the Levitical class I think it's from the She'elah. They actually claim to be descended from Shmuel Hanavi, like Samuel the prophet. I don't know. This is what I learned when I did DNA research. When I did it, I had a similar signature, but my family is not Levitical. I share a common ancestor with the Shpoler Zaidi, apparently, in like the 1300 CE. And that was one of the early Hasidic. I didn't know that until I did my Y-DNA test. But what's fascinating about that, so you were talking with Natan earlier about like Syria or, the Mizrahi Jews. I work primarily in a Syrian Jewish community. I grew up in a primarily Ashkenaz community, just like, what you were describing and, Texas and, like I lived in the Midwest. So I had very few Mizrahi, interactions until when I moved to New York. I learned a lot of, culture of specifically the Syrian Jews. And what I learned is there's a line of Syrian Jews, the Dayan family, that has a tradition of having lineage from King David patrilineally, right? So, and what was fascinating about that is I found that I had a closer DNA signature on my Y, my Y haplotype to those Syrian Jews from that Dayan line, it's a very unique line, than I did to Ashkenazi Levitical Jews who also fell into that haplotype. It's R1A. I think some of there's Palestinian, people that have that, Saudi Arabia. Like, it's not like some exclusively European line. It's absolutely, has Middle Eastern, Levant signatures to it. So yeah, I encourage everybody to take DNA tests. Take your Y DNA haplotype, and you will see when it shows on your. I did it with Family Tree. I don't know did you do your Y haplotype or did you just do your?
I did an Ancestry.com kit, and then I cross verified it on another website that uses archaeological.
Right. No, so I did a Y DNA test. So that like shoots you back to like your father's, father's father, basically like, this is how they establish like the Cohen, whatever, gene or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, so I would encourage everybody to, all Ashkenazi Sephardi Jews to do their DNA test, and also show that regardless of whether or not your grandparents ended up in Poland last couple generations, they have Middle Eastern origins. So yeah, just debunking that silliness.
Well, I appreciate you so much calling into the show, brother. You're a total nerd about this Jewish world, and I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
If you want to subscribe to my channel, Yehuda Yisrael.
Shout it out. Shout it out. Shout it out again. What is it?
Yehuda Yisrael. It's my Hebrew name.
Yehudi.
I guess I'll put it in the Yehuda Yisrael. Like, my first name is Yehuda, and my middle name is Yisrael.
Yisrael.
So
amazing, guys. Go subscribe. Yeah. Show them some love. Show them love, but subscribe to me first, because we're trying to get 400K. All right, brother. Sure. Thanks so much for calling in. Thanks.
Sure,
see you, man. Yes, guys. By the way, I'm gonna send you another reminder because we're doing such a good job. Trajectory. We're sort of moving back on now. We got some more momentum. I saw our momentum dipped a little bit, and we're coming back up. We are 135 subscribers away. Only 135 subscribers away from 400,000. I know that once we get into the 90s, once we get into 3999, we're gonna be moving like Quicksilver. We're gonna be flying. I know, but I know this is the hard part, is getting to that last 100. So we need a bunch of people right now. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be taking more calls. I'm not going anywhere. I think we can do it. I really do think we can do it. I'm 2 hours in. I am getting a little tired because I was filming all day, but I haven't eaten and I'm hungry. But I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna push. I'm gonna push till we can get this tonight. I want to celebrate with you guys. It's gonna be so much fun. So help me get to 400,000 subs right now by subscribing yourself or sharing this with a friend and trying to get another friend to subscribe. Help me out, guys. Let's make it happen. And let's take our next caller. Yitzy. Yitzy piped up earlier. I wanted to hear what he wanted to say. What's up, Yitz?
Originally, I wanted to talk about the international law thing. Then a few other things came up. I'll see what I remember. The way I hear, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything about international law. I just heard a few videos. The way I hear Natasha Hausdorff, Kiki Hausdorff describing the international law thing, as long as there's any chance that the enemy occupying army can intercept aid, I don't think there's any obligation on Israel to give aid. And we know that's what's been going on, that Hamas has been stealing aid. So I don't think there's any obligation from international law to give aid there. So that international law argument, I think, falls apart. Regarding the first caller, I don't remember the rest of, I can't talk on the rest of what he was saying, but on this aspect, I think I can, with a pinch of salt, obviously.
I generally agree with you, by the way, that I don't think neither under international law or just a morality, I don't think we should offer anybody any international, we don't need to offer them any aid at all.
I mean, my perspective is to do what the Torah says, F international law, but even if somebody's arguing from international law, like Natasha Hausdorff also points out that according to international law, Gaza and the West Bank are part of Israel from 48 because of Otipa Sedat Sioris, whatever that means.
True.
So,
I mean, the West Bank is sovereign Israeli territory. It just hasn't been claimed by Israel yet, but it is our territory. Like we took it back from Jordan in '67. That's our land. Every day that goes by that we don't reclaim sovereignty over it is a waste of time.
So regarding that claim of war crimes, it's not really an occupation if it belongs to Israel from 48 according to international law. So that's just 2 points of the international law part. Regarding the Chiloni state of Israel, if that's what somebody's goal is, they can't invoke Tanakh or Et Tzemach David Avdecha Me'erat Hatzmiach or V'techazena Einenu B'Shuvcha L'Tzion B'Rachamim. They can't invoke any of that, because waiting for Mashiach means we want all the Jews to come back to Israel. We want the Davidic dynasty kingship to come back. We want the third temple rebuilt so we can do Shlemut HaTorah v'HaMitzvah, the way Maimonides, the Rambam, puts it. That's why we're waiting for Mashiach. So if somebody wants a democratic Chiloni state, that's not in line with religious Zionism or Judaism Zionism, so to say. Was there another point I wanted to raise?
I want to just add that I think while the aspirations for a democratic secular state is not necessarily a bad thing, it's a nice idea in practice. It's just not. You have to have an honest conversation with yourself, as an Israeli, as a Jew. What is the long-term goal of this country? Like, where are we actually going? What's our trajectory? Again, the secularism, the democracy stuff, it's a fun idea. It's great. And really in practice, it can be very beautiful. It really can be. But you have to look at it, a long-term goal. What is going to happen here?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not an Israeli citizen, so I don't really have a right to talk about it from a citizenship perspective. But I understand that question. Like, if somebody's a citizen of Israel, like how possible is it to invoke or to take away somebody's like constitutional rights if there is a constitution? Like in America, if somebody's an ex-con, he doesn't have the Second Amendment right. If somebody's a resident in America, they don't have constitutional rights, only if they're a citizen. Like this idea that if there are Gazans, that they don't have constitutional rights, it's an apartheid. I mean, there are laws of residency that don't get constitutional rights. So that's a moot point. So like even if Gazan becomes residents tomorrow, like that doesn't mean that they have the right to vote or anything like that. So that's just a separate part of the international law conversation. And all countries have this, and for some reason only Israel is called apartheid for
only
executing
Israel.
this law.
Yeah, only Israel. It's the truth. Okay, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Thanks for sharing with us. Appreciate you very much.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too, Yitz. Ariel, talk to me, Habibi. Oh, Ariel's literally just disappeared. That's crazy. Literally just disappeared when I said his name. Okay. Nexix. Nexix? Nexix? Nexix. Nexix.
Sorry, my mic.
It's okay, your mic.
Yeah. I'm here just to rant a little bit, nothing crazy.
Okay.
But I heard the conversation you had earlier about Israel. And I think the only way for Israel to really survive, you speak about survival, right? About Israel, what's going to be forward, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think the best way is to expand and take the land back. Why? Like in the 6-Day War, Israel expanded and took half of Sinai, right? And the Arab world knew that Israel is very strong. The only way Israel is still standing right now is because she won every war that the Arab world has started. So if this time Israel will take everything back, Judea and Samaria, Gaza, then I think they will have flashback on what Israel capable of, and they will pull back. I think this is the only way for Israel to really survive in this region for a long time. And we need to stick to it and not give anything back for peace, because we already know that peace is not possible with barbarians that cannot 70
But
years we tried.
bro, here's the I'm gonna give you kind of a rebuttal to what you're saying. Like, I genuinely agree with you. I generally agree with you. I think, but Israel's survivability is not predicated on this idea. It's not predicated on this idea of conquering land. One,
I think it is.
Judea and Samaria is our land. It's Israel's. It's ours.
Yes,
Israel's land. It's just we
ours.
have politicians that are unable to, grab the cojones to actually do the annexing that needs to be done to bring it back into our sphere.
This is the problem. We need to take it back.
But the thing is, it's our land. Like, there's no dispute there.
I know there is no dispute. This is ours.
Gaza was our
but
land.
If you ask,
hold on. Gaza was our land. We gave it up. Now, I thought I held of the opinion that was the wrong thing to do. Now we know. I mean, we knew then it wasn't a good idea. We gave it up. I think I was of the opinion for most of this war that none of us wanted to really reoccupy Gaza or take it back. But at this point that we're at right now, it just seems like there's really not anything else we can do. Like, we're at option 0. I think like this could have been solved a different way a year ago. But it's ours now. Like, that's it. Gaza's ours.
This is the only chance. Like, when the war started on 7th of October, I thought this is the chance to take everything back, and I think this is what Israel should do. But about the last point, it doesn't matter if Judea and Samaria is ours, like international law and everything. The average person in the West think it's not ours, think it's someone else. Think it's belong to the Palestinian with the catastrophe. Yes, not really Palestinian, but and this is create issue anyway. So in that case, I say we need to take it back, because people always have something to say, and I think there is no point in keeping it with the PLO's control or something, if you know what I mean.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
And I want just to finish. I want to make everyone aware, because the West, especially, is forgetting something, or it's something that is in front of his eyes and he don't see it. Like, you see the rise of Islam in every country in Europe, even in America, and I think it should raise a red flag to everyone. And I wonder how people are so ignorant to not see the pressure that the small minority, with the apostrophe, the Islamists, are making on the West leaders. Okay, for example, in Canada and in UK, they shouting, embargo Israel, do that, and right away everyone, all the leaders in this region are doing exactly what they want, because they want the Islamist vote and everything. And I think for the people living in Europe, it's very important to be aware that they are really going to be ethnically cleansing in the near future. Like, the Islam playing the long game. They don't care to wait 100 years or 200 years. They don't care. It's their ideology that they can wait their time, but because the average white guy can only bring around 1 or 3 kids, like, at average, yes. Islamists that immigrant to Europe, for example, bring more than 1 wife, and they can have 10 kids with each wife. So do the math, what will happen in like 100 years from now? Like, where do you think, what happened to Christianity? What happened to Judaism? What happened to Europe and America in general? It's something I think people should be aware of and stop being ignorant about the threat of Islam. That's it.
Amen. Chazaku baruch.
Yeah.
Yada, brother. Thanks so much for calling in. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 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 ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else we can do to hurry up this process more, but we are now 125 subscribers away from 400,000. We're inching so slowly. Let me make an appeal to everybody watching this right now. Okay? Right now. For the last year and a half, your boy, Tall. I wish I could play like a sad song. Wait, can I? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh, I can't. Wait, can I? 1 second. I might be able to. One second. I don't think I can. I don't have it. I don't think I 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 have it. No, I don't have it. Okay. For the last year and a half, your boy Tall has been working on here day in, day out. For a long time, I wasn't even earning a penny out of this. And granted, I'm making some money now, which is nice. But for a long time, this was purely strategic and volunteer propaganda work. I don't ask much from you guys. You know, we've done a lot to raise money for soldiers, for Israel, for Kibbutz Be'eri. We've done in the past. I have yet to do a GoFundMe to go on a trip or, we've done one time a little fundraising for me to get me out to the Caribbean to do some of this lecture talks and stuff, and it was amazing, and I appreciate you guys so much, but I don't ask you for much. And I try not to ask you guys for much. But I really need your help right now. I'm tired. I'm hungry. But I'm going to be here taking your calls, answering your questions. I'm going to be here. Sorry. I'm going to be here answering your questions, taking your calls, making you content, even if there's one person watching. There are 251 people on this stream right now. Let's say just 100 of you are dedicated fans, are dedicated lovers of this channel. Do you appreciate me? Do you love me? Because I love you and I appreciate you. Please help me right now by subscribing to the YouTube channel and telling one other person, just one other person you know, right now. Take the moment. I'm not going anywhere. Nothing interesting is going to happen. Take a pause. You can leave the stream for a second. Send the channel to someone and say, listen, I need you to subscribe to this young, handsome boy. He's working so hard for me and for you. Subscribe to this young, handsome, freshly shaved, look at that, freshly groomed, done by himself boy. He's a boy. And help me get to 400,000 subscribers. This is my appeal to you, my friends. I need your help. Let's do this together. Together. Look at this. Be like Alexandria. Just got my dad and his wife to sub. I got you. I'm Israel Chai. Let me know. Let me know. Comment down below if you're able to get somebody to subscribe to my channel. Just like Alexandria did. Alexandria, you're a sweetheart and I love you. Thank you. Moshe Landis. Be like Moshe Landis. Moshe Landis. I got you. I'll tell my parents LOL. Tell your parents. Tell them there's a nice Jewish boy fighting for Israel. Fighting for Am Yisrael. Trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. Not for himself, but to make a statement. Because this is bigger than just me. This is our channel. And you guys know I treat it as such. It's not just tall here. It's not just about me. It's about us. And I'm not saying this is a cliche. It's for real. This is for real. This is about us. What does this YouTube channel stand for? It stands for Mizrahi Jews. It stands for the story. We're fighting the fucking narrative every day here. That's what this channel's about. Look at you guys. Look at that number ticking up. Everyone get inspired by this. This is amazing. This is amazing. 118, 112 away. Be like Sarah. Got a few homies to check out your channel. Be just like Sarah. Be just like Sarah. Shy is telling Gotcha, tell my grandpa to sub. Hell yeah. We want your grandpa. We love your grandpa. We stand Shy's grandpa. Look at that. 110. 109. This is going to be crazy if we actually are able to hit it. I need your guys' help. I need your guys' help tonight. Let's make this happen. Zentap, come in here. Bless us with your beautiful voice, Mr. Zentap. And help me bring on the coming of the 400,000 subscribers.
Ahlan habibi.
Ahlan wa sahlan ya habibi. Habib albi.
Everybody must subscribe now to the channel to make good for mitzvah.
Mitzvah.
It is mitzvah to subscribe to the traveling clat.
Good for Allah.
Aywa. It is good for Allah.
For Allah.
It is good for Allah and Muhammad Rasulullah.
Muhammad Rasulullah alayhi wasallam.
How you doing, brother?
You know, I'm getting kind of excited, kind of zen. We're almost there. We're
Yeah,
ticking
we are.
away. Right now what is this?
Bro, you're getting there. You're getting
105.
there. People got to post on their socials and let the world know.
I'm nervous, man.
There's a traveling clad out there
Here
who
it
wants
is.
to bring more knowledge and enlightenment to the world about what is and what isn't in the muddled East.
That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. And look at this. We're ticking away. I think we're about to pass the point of no return. Once that number, we're 2 away. Once that number ticks away to 2, when it's 39999 and we're there, 2 more subscribers, and we pass the point of no return. When we're only 100 away, it's just a countdown. Right. It's a countdown at that point. We just counting. Right. Here we go. We're 1 away, guys.
There you go.
And we're gonna even put. I'm gonna go one step further. We're gonna put a stopwatch on. There it is. All right, officially starting the countdown right now. Here we go. Stopwatch starts. How long can we gain 100 subscribers? Whoa, we're flying right now, ladies and. This is what I knew. This happened to me when I hit 100,000 subscribers. People hold out because they want to be that 400,000.
Yeah, everybody has to get in now before you hit 400K.
We're flying. We're flying right now. All right, Zentap, tell me.
We're 100 away from 100 grand or from 100,000 away from $500,000.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what this means in the? And I'm not even joking here. Like I'm being dead ass. I know I was kind of being like I was joking earlier, but can you imagine what this means for the pro-Israel perspective to say that we have a YouTube channel that stands on YouTube making impactful content about Mizrahi Jewish heritage, about Israel, like true on the ground content I've been working so hard to do, that has 400,000 subscribers. That's nearly 500,000. You know what that's like? You know what kind of legitimacy that gives all of us, everybody who believes in this channel? It's huge. Holy shit.
Let's pretend I don't know. Let's say it for the YouTubes. Let's pretend I don't know. What does that actually mean?
It means, and I really believe, it means we have a fighting chance at changing the narrative.
Yes.
400,000 subscribers. I mean, what's the actual? The goal is 500,000 subscribers, right? Like 500,000 is a really big thing, but like 400,000 subscribers it comes with a certain element of legitimacy that you're bringing to the table. So does 300 and so does 200. But this,
the number 40 in ancient Hebrew biblical texts is the number for generations, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So what is 400,000?
440,000 generations.
There you go.
Trying to find a Kabbalistic meaning behind this.
10,000 generations, right? So.
All right, here we are. We're officially 80 away, and we're a minute 50 in.
I'm just saying what a blessing it will be.
79.
What a great blessing thing it will be. Yes, the countdown is on.
The countdown is on, guys. We are 2 minutes in, and we're 79 subscribers away from 400 fucking thousand subscribers.
And guys, Tal is hungry and tired.
Wow,
Not
I'm
just
so hungry.
He's hungry and tired. A nice Jewish boy like Tal, and you're not subbed to his channel. What are you doing?
Come on.
What are you doing?
We also got a super chat here from Double Aaron. He said $4.99. Said, you can do it, Tal. Love you from this Iranian American. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. We also got a super sticker from Eli. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And Leo dropped us another 5 rand. I'm Jewish and a Zionist. My concern is that Israel will become illegal in the eyes of the world. This is why I believe in the two-state solution. Two-state solution is a pipe dream that will kill Israelis in the future and will end up having to retake Israel anyways.
I will be happy to debate you with that, just to play devil's advocate, and also the secularist vision of the state again. Just to play devil's advocate.
No, I don't need you to play devil's advocate. I need you to give me a nice Zentap perspective. What's on your mind today? What did you want to call in and say?
I'll tell you what's on my mind. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that Israel has now reached a point where in the past year and a half, since October 7th, that awful day in 2023, when so many people in Israel were brutally attacked and terrible things were done, without having to go over all of the horrible details, but we know what they are. People were harmed in all kinds of unimaginable, unspeakable ways, and many people are still suffering from it directly, being hostages in tunnels and other godforsaken places in Gaza, in Gaza. And right now, the Israelis have, in that year and a half, decapitated Hezbollah, taken outposts in southern Lebanon to keep Hezbollah away and stop shooting rockets at us. They have taken land inside of Syria to protect the Druze, and they're fighting for the Druze people, who are our brothers in Syria. And we are responding against the Hamas attacks that endlessly, continuously keep attacking our soldiers in Gaza and keep firing occasionally rockets into Israel. We have decapitated a whole number of Houthi arsenal and removed a lot of their threat coming at us, despite the fact that they keep shooting at us. We have destroyed a lot of the Iranian arsenal in Iran that they were using to shoot at us. We have survived multiple ballistic missile attacks in volleys of hundreds at a time. Basically, Israel has changed the entire map. And despite all of the nonsense that you see from these extreme anti-Israel people who are not pro-Palestinian, they're actually anti-Palestinian because they support terrorists lording over the Palestinians ruthlessly and cruelly. They don't actually want peace. They just want to kill Jews and destroy Israel. Right? We've seen Israel say, you know what? You bring that fight to us, we bring it right back to you. Mm-hmm. And we are doing everything in our power to turn the entire Middle East around on its head. And you see it from the people in Saudi Arabia who want peace with Israel. You see it from the people in the UAE who maintain their peace with Israel despite having misgivings about what we are doing in Gaza. They still say we'd rather have peace with Israel than support this stupid Hamas organization. You're seeing all kinds of people who traditionally had been considered anti-Israel stand up for Israel in the Middle East, and all the useful idiots around the rest of the world who don't know a damn thing about the Middle East. They're the most vocal anti-Israel Jew haters out there because traditionally, well, they probably come from very anti-Semitic roots. Not a surprise to me. That's what I have to say about that, and I'm very inspired by the work that you're doing and that other people are doing. I make my little contributions in my own little vlogs occasionally, but mostly I'm inspired by seeing young people like you, and yes, you're young to me, young people like you making meaningful and powerful and impactful work that reaches lots and lots of people around the internet and around the world and communicates a very strong and positive message about how Mizrahi Jews should be the front of this entire argument, because we have at our disposal arguments that cannot be taken down because the facts are on our side, and it completely dismantles and dislodges every argument made against Israel by the so-called pro-Palestinians, who again are anti-Palestinian. And by the way, I'd like my house in Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, claps in the chat right now. Claps in the chat right now for
Let's get to
Zentap
that
and that beautiful speech. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. XYZ labeling me as a war criminal right here live on YouTube. I'm officially a war criminal. I think I can officially be called a war criminal once you hit me, once we get to 400,000 subscribers. Zentap, I appreciate you very much. Thanks for coming in and giving that beautiful sermon, man. And please do call back again in the future, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, before I bring on the next caller, I want to make this last appeal for you because it really worked last time and we jumped up like 60 subscribers. Here we are. Here we are, you and me. Me and you. You and me. Me and you. We are 8 minutes in from passing over the threshold of needing only 100 subscribers left. We only need 65 subscribers. 65 subscribers, that's it. And then we're at 400,000. Right now, we're sitting here at nearly 300 people on the stream. If each and every single one of you were to just message one person in your phone right now with a link to my channel, youtube.com/thetravelingclat, and just let them know this young Jewish boy, he's been out here busting his chops. He's been flying around the world for us. He's been giving up a lot. He wants to help Am Yisrael. He wants to help the Jewish people. He just needs you to come in and tick that subscribe button up so he can go sleep soon, take a shower, eat some food, and go to sleep. That's all we need. Help me get to 400,000 subscribers. We're almost there. From traveling into the West Bank and going to Ramallah and Nablus and sitting with the Druze people and going to Masharim and sitting with the ultra-Orthodox to hanging out with the army to being on the border of Gaza to the Bedouins to Haifa to down in Eilat. If you look at this YouTube channel and you see what we've done here in the last 11 years, we have done so much for this country. And I'm proud of it. We really are changing the narrative. And when I get recognized nowadays, people ask, they tell me I get recognized for two things. One, usually on YouTube, it's for the video I made about the Samaritans and how much mind-opening, how mind-blowing that was for so many people. 40 subscribers. 60 subscribers away, folks. 60 subscribers away. It's about to be 59. I just need you to go and tell one other person to subscribe. This channel is a fuck you to the face of all the people who hate Israel. It's a fuck you to the face of all the people who think Israel is some sort of white colonizer colony, some sort of Western colonial outpost in the Middle East. It's a fuck you to everybody who thinks that the Mizrahi Jewish narrative isn't important enough. It's a fuck you to everybody who buys the bullshit Qatari-funded and Islamic regime of Iran-funded anti-Israel propaganda. It's a big fuck you to the fans of Kanye West and all the Hail Hitlers of the day and all the racist, anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish people who hate the Jew haters of the world. It's a big fuck you to all those people who sit there and say Israel doesn't have any of its own food and you guys stole all your food. Because when we make content here, we do it with nuance. We bring the facts to the table. We blow people's mind. We teach them shit that they've never heard before. We show them shit they've never heard before. We take them to places they've never been before. And we do that all the time on this channel. That's what we stand for. When you subscribe to this YouTube channel, when you fund this YouTube channel, when you support this YouTube channel, that's what you're putting your money behind. That's what you're putting your subscription behind. You're putting it behind somebody who believes in his message, somebody who's done the work to believe in his message. There's no bullshit here. This is all real. So my appeal to you again, before I take this next caller, help me get to 400,000 subscribers. We are 53 away. We can do this. 51 away. We're 12 minutes and 30 seconds in. 50 subscribers away. 50 people. That's all it takes. And we're there. Core Dog, you're on with Tal. What's up, Bubba?
Hey, Tal.
How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Well, first, thank you for what you're doing. I've been watching your channels pretty much since the war began, and that you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
But I'm going to be a little bit of stick in the mud.
Okay.
Do you actually think this is helping? Because
absolutely,
like most, okay, this is the disagreement. I mean, we know about the whole concept of Hasbara, and like everything Jewish, it turns into a conspiracy. If you ask American on the right side of the aisle, they will actually call it an Israeli government influence operation of a sort. It seems like, I mean, and no disrespect, I mean, you're about to hit 400,000, which is a big number, but you're not getting followers from your opposition. You're getting the ones who are supporting you. That's pretty much preaching to the choir.
No, it's not true. The choir is watching me because I'm entertaining, and by the way, the choir is learning a lot from me because this choir, unfortunately, is very uneducated a lot of times and is actually learning a lot of nuanced perspectives from me. I mean, when I flew to America now and I had Jewish people coming to my lectures, some of which were watching me online, they were repeating to me stuff that I said in my videos about Arab colonization. And to me, that was the biggest honor because they said to me that they didn't know about any of this stuff before they started watching my videos. So, one, I'm not preaching to the choir because I'm not a part of the choir. I am not a part of the Jewish establishment in the media sphere. And I'm not putting myself on a pedestal right now, but genuinely find another person on YouTube that talks the way I do with my family history, that preaches the things that I preach. Find one other person. On YouTube, it doesn't exist. On Instagram, there's a few. There's great people like Abraham Hamra. There's official Sahar TV. There's great Mizrahi Jewish influencers who are out there. But first of all, I'm not a part of the choir. That's the basis. I don't want to name names because I don't want to be mean. But I'm not a part of the Jewish establishment. I'm ex-casted from it on the basis that I'm Mizrahi, probably. I like to think that that's not the case. But the Mizrahi Jewish perspective doesn't exist. So just even if I was preaching to only the choir, I'm already having an impact because the choir is actually kind of listening a little bit. And they're learning. But the thing that you don't see, that I get to see because I have access to my analytics and to all my social media that's not open to the public, there's tons of Arabs that are listening to what I'm saying. My TikTok, I
think it's called hate watching.
No. My TikTok, and by the way, first of all, my TikTok is a great example. I have 20,000 followers there. I would say about 15,000 of them are Arabs. And they're not hate watching. They're following me because they love me. I get messages when I talk shit to the Arab world where they say, I love you. On my Instagram, it's even more because they usually type to me in English. You might not believe in what I'm saying, but the reason why I keep doing it is because it's addicting. And my Discord is a good example of this. My Discord is full of Arabs. Some of them, they can't say it publicly, but they watch in silence. They let me know personally, but they can't actually say anything. They can't speak up. But on my Instagram, every time I make a video about Lebanon, immediately I get followers from Lebanon who are like, listen, I appreciate you so much. I'm like the number one person who keeps getting talked about on this Reddit, forbidden romance between Lebanese and Israelis who want peace. They keep bringing my name up on there because I keep mentioning them. And I keep talking to them in a way that nobody else talks to them. So I don't think I'm preaching to the choir, and I don't think it's useless. I think this YouTube channel, it actually stands for something. It's breaking out of the echo chamber. And again, even if it stays inside of the echo chamber, at least the echo chamber is learning something. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Maybe I'm a little bit too much of a cynic considering the history of our country. But hey, great job, dude.
Thank you, brother.
I'm really happy for you getting the 400K. Hopefully, the 500,000 would follow very, very soon afterwards.
Thank
Great
you
job,
so
dude.
much.
Really great job.
Toda rabah, akhi. Appreciate that a lot, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, I think before we take our next caller, we got to bring in the grand hater. All right, at this point, guys, just subscribe in spite of this fucker, all right? Just subscribe in spite of this fucker. We are 40 subscribers away.
Tal, just a little correction. I'm not just a fucker. I am a motherfucker. I fuck your mom. Remember that.
Can you tell people to subscribe to my channel, bro?
Please, spam his channel, report his channel so that he gets deleted. I want this guy to be depressed. He takes a rope and commits suicide. Please, just troll him, troll his family. If you know where he lives, attack him. If you know his mom, throw acid on her face, destroy her life.
Do you, brother, do you believe in gays for Palestine?
I believe in people like you should be killed. Your mom should be killed. You know, your whole family should be killed.
What?
It shouldn't exist at all.
Why?
Because you're a motherfucker. You're a piece of shit who spreads lie. You know.
Okay.
When you lie on YouTube, I'm so angry when I see you spreading your false narrative, your false propaganda to people. You know, I just want to go to your house and beat the shit out of you. You know, just take a hammer and break your legs with it, and then take you and drown you in a bath of acid, motherfucker.
What specifically have I said that has made you want to drown me in a bath of acid?
You will be drowned in a bath of acid. Don't worry about that.
No, I'm saying what did I say that made you want to drown me in a bath of acid specifically?
You're a fucking liar. You troll people. You like to troll people, right? You like to troll people. Good.
But
Very good.
what specifically? Do you have a specific thing?
No. I can only tell you that you love to troll people, right? You like to make fun of people online. Now I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna drown you in a bath of acid.
So
It's
could
not
you-
now, but
could
I'm gonna find you, buddy. I'm gonna find you.
Could you tell me what specifically is that I said?
Could you? I might spare you if you.
No, Lola,
apologize,
come back,
you know?
come back, Lola, come back. You don't need to mute
Just
yourself. Come
apologize.
back.
Lola, what a piece of shit.
What
a sexy
a...
bitch,
Oh,
my
sacre
God.
bleu!
Oh, she's fucking ugly. Come on.
You're fucking ugly
Lola,
too.
when you were born, your mom had
Qu'est-ce que
some
c'est?
bag to vomit. You were
Why are you
ugly.
talking like this? What is your problem?
Joe, you want to come in here? Joe, start swinging.
Lola, your mom.
Hold on. Free Palestine.
your
Wait,
mother-
hold on.
Lola.
Free Palestine.
I am here.
Wait a minute. I have a friend I want to introduce you. His name is Joe Paul. He doesn't fuck around. You know, I fuck around a bit, but Joe doesn't fuck
Maybe her
around.
mom fucked around.
I would just like Joe, if you
Fuck
have
your
any,
mother.
if you have anything to say
Your
to him,
mom, your
Joe,
mom fucked around.
give him the old Long
Your mom
Island
fucked around.
treatment.
Free Palestine. When you do show up,
No, free
try to drop
your
out,
dad from
please
your
make
mom.
sure that I'm here so I can rip your head off of your fucking torso and shit down your fucking esophagus.
Oh, he left. Every time I put him on mute, he just leaves. He's such a little bitch.
Kyle, while I'm unmuted, congratulations about the coming close to 400,000. That's fucking incredible.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Fucking cool.
Thank you so much. We are 37. Am I doing this my math right? I'm starting to lose my mind. 37 subscribers away. We're 20 minutes. 20 minutes into this, guys. Come on. 37 subscribers away. Let's get this. Let's get this.
Listen, even if a couple you have to create a fucking second YouTube account, just do what you got to do.
You know, like the thing is, this is the thought behind this. We would have hit this milestone overnight. I just thought I just got back home from a whole day of filming, and I saw I had a big jump in subscribers today. I don't know what from. I don't know what specifically video made it happen, but I thought I was gonna be able to hit this tomorrow or the next day, but it sped up a bit. So I was like, can we do this together as a team effort? Can we all come together and make the milestone happen live on stream? It's so much better than me just hitting this arbitrarily overnight, you know? Like, I was like, let's speed up the process and do it together. Yeah, Moshe,
Everyone should post an Instagram story with the link. Everyone right now should go to Instagram, copy the link to Tal's YouTube page, post it on your Instagram, and tell everyone, follow this link now.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Please do. If anybody can right now, as we are 33 subscribers. Why am I doing my math right? This is embarrassing. I'm not very good at math. 33? Yes, 33. No, not 33. Yes, 33. 30. Now we're 30. 30 subscribers away. We are 30 individuals away. 30. That's all it takes from an army of 400,000. And you know it's going to be fun at the end, because I don't know if any of you guys are watching this for the first time. I don't know if you've ever been with a YouTuber when they're about to hit a milestone, but what happens every single time right before you're about to hit the milestone? So once we get to like 300,999 something, like when it's right about there, when it's at like 80 or 90, everyone's going to start unsubscribing really quickly because everyone's going to want to resubscribe to be the 400,000. So it's really fun. But we got to get a little bit closer. We're almost there. So if everybody right now could take a moment, you know what? At this point, we've been saying text, call a friend. Just fucking ring the phone and be like, yo, listen, Jack. Yo, Stephanie, listen. Stephanie, put down the pancake real quick. Listen. Stephanie, put down the fucking pancake. There's a nice Jewish boy. He's been out here. He's been on a live stream for nearly 3 hours. 3 hours. Begging people to subscribe. Begging.
And don't let anyone tell you they don't have a YouTube account. If they have a Yahoo email, that is the same exact login for YouTube. So no excuses.
No excuses, guys. Let's get this. We are now officially 30. Okay, now people are unsubscribing. All right. Joe Paul, tell me what's on your mind, Habibi.
What's on my mind? A little bit of everything, to tell you the truth. The fact that there's so much talk about the protesters in Israel that are kind of, release the hostages and, forget about, dismantling Hamas, and they just, I don't know, I feel like it's putting the wrong message out there. And, the more I try and like reconcile with it or wrap my head around it, it's like I try to put myself in the position of the family members that have, hostages that have been, gone for 2 years. And it's like, who cares about anything else? But at the same time, it's like the decisions that the Knesset and the people in the government have to make is for the security of the entire country, as well as the future security of the country. It can't just be, very immediate gratification. Yes, I want to see all the hostages home, but I don't want to see October 7th happen again. And as long as Hamas stays in power, there is no negotiating that. That is a red line. There, you can't cross that one. Without the dismantlement of Hamas, there really is no future. And I mean that wholeheartedly for the Palestinian people as well. Even if they are indoctrinated, they aren't past the point of saving until proven otherwise.
I could not agree more, honestly. I think this sort of like self-eating ourselves from the inside is like it's such a terrible precedent to send to the outside world. But again, from the other perspective, it's something I've always dealt with. I said this over and over again. It's like one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with emotionally as an adult is this hostage situation. It literally feels like an impossible question to answer, an impossible situation to answer to. And this is the one genius out behind Hamas is they really got us pigeonholed. Really have us pigeonholed in the worst possible decision. There is no winning.
They've been planning this for literally 18 years. They banked on the fact that there was going to be an escalation reprisal after October 7th. Like they banked on the fact of Israel going above and beyond. This was all calculated to do, and they knew way beforehand none of those hostages were ever going to be overground. As soon as they got back into Gaza, they were bringing them all in the tunnels. And I just find it really disheartening that 2.1 million civilians and not one of them could point out where the hostages are. Like even in Nazi Germany, there were Nazis that helped the Jews out. Like here, there's like it just feels like nothing.
Nothing at all, because they are in bed. They are 100% in bed with each other. And this is the most disappointing part is the Palestinian people. It's not even so much Hamas. It's the Palestinian people that have been the most disappointing in this process. They have just been one disappointing element of this whole situation. They've been disappointing to make peace with. They've been disappointing to talk to. They've been disappointing to try to understand. Everything they do, every step they make is shooting themselves in the foot. And when you just think about, put yourself in the shoes of Hamas real quick. Just put yourself in Hamas's shoes. Even every time they return a hostage now, what have they gained? Nothing. They have a lost land. Their land is about to be reoccupied by Israel. Everything is destroyed. Thousands of people have died. What has been gained? Nothing.
Time. That's it. The only thing that they have to gain is time for them to regroup, restock, rearm, and retrain new soldiers. That's it. That's the only thing that they gain from the hostage release and drip grabbing the way they do. They allow time is our worst enemy, because the more time that they have, the more they can arm new people and grow their forces. And then all of a sudden, by the time that we think that we've inhabited all of Gaza, you're going to see Hamas just spring out of the West Bank and cause another October 7th, except this time it'll be in Hebron or in Tel Aviv. God forbid.
God forbid. God forbid. Well, I appreciate you.
What's the number? What are we at? Let's change the topic. I want to get that.
We are at 25 away right now. We're at 399,975 subscribers. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to pass the point of no return here. We are only 25 subscribers away from 400,000. Phone a friend. Call Bethany. Call Becky. Let him know. Say, Becky, you fat bitch, put down the rice cracker and subscribe to his YouTube channel.
And Kyle, I just want to say, obviously, I'm pretty well read about this topic, but I've learned so much by just listening to you talk. So anyone that thinks that they know everything about this conflict, like I would probably say that I do, I've learned so much by listening to Tal. So the worst question is the question that is not asked. So if you think that you know everything and you think that you're too smart to ask a question about what does this mean or what does that mean, then you're really stupid. So I've learned so much from just watching you and the different things, different places that you went. So keep up the great work and never stop.
Thank you.
I'll pile up on that, and I'll add that I agree. I think when a lot of people tell me about other content creators, which are all great, by the way, no shade to anyone, I always say there are content creators that are great for people who are beginners to this topic and they don't know a lot. And for example, Rebecca Barsef does an amazing work. She breaks down things and for people who don't know a lot about the conflict, she's a very good content creator to follow. But for people like me who have been living this reality for 16 years, having people like you who deep dive into beyond just the conflict, going into what it means to be a Mizrahi Jew, going into the entire Levant, the history, all these things, it'll give so much what we call in Hebrew erech musaf, so much added value to this community. In my eyes, I think you have a unique take. I think you have a unique voice, and I really, that's why, I signed on early on and been supporting you since. But continue the good job, my friend.
And this is
very
all
much loved and appreciated.
This is all thanks to Lola, by the way.
Absolutely.
Well, you give the Jewish people such nonsense.
Oh man, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that a lot. All right, I think I may go solo dolo for the rest of this and just make a little outcry here, as we're really coming up here to the end. And I know you motherfuckers out there. I know you guys. This isn't my first rodeo. I've done this 4 times now. Okay, this is my 4th time getting to a 100,000 milestone. I know you little motherfuckers out there are starting to unsubscribe. I can see the number ticking down because you want to be the 400,000. But let me fight back real quick the psychology behind this. Stay subscribed. You can do the whole unsubscribe shit in 5 minutes when we're nearly there. You fuckers. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got not much left in me right now. 25 subscribers away. I know it's a war. I know this part's a battle. Okay, I really know it's a battle. I know it's a war. I know it's a fight. But I'm going to try to monologue here, the best kind of monologue I've ever done in my life. when my grandparents were kicked out of Iraq and had to travel far across the Middle East to their promised land, never in a million years would they imagine that their legacy would lie in one of their grandchildren speaking on their behalf, on their story, to millions of people every single day. You know, on average, this YouTube channel will bring in anywhere between 2 to 10 million views a month. Do you know how powerful that is? We were able to take a YouTube channel that peaked at 250,000 subscribers, all about world travel, and turn it into an international internet phenomenon that focuses on Mizrahi Jewish heritage, that focuses on the people of Israel, on this incredible nation, on the plight of the people of the Middle East, on everything they've been through. We have worked so hard to get to this point where we're at right now. And the point that we're at right now is 19 individuals. 19 individuals subscribing to this channel to help us reach this milestone. We are 33 minutes in. 33 minutes in. Now, I understand all my little ducks over here, all my little dodo birds. Each one of you wants to be that 400,000th subscriber. Now, let me make you an appeal, as we're only 20 away now. Now we're 19 away. Call a friend, phone a friend. Let's do this together. Okay? Get all your unsubscribes out right now. And I'm going to do a countdown. In 60 seconds, I'll tell you when we start the countdown. I want everybody to hit that subscribe button as fast as possible. You can unsubscribe now if you want to. If you're watching and it's easy for you to unsubscribe, go for it. And hopefully, when we do that 60-second countdown, we'll hit the number. Okay? And we'll start counting down in a few seconds. So you can all unsubscribe if you want to right now. Go for it, unsubscribe, and we'll all do it in one go, and hopefully we'll breeze past it. We are 14 subscribers away. My heart is racing. In 30 seconds, we'll start the countdown. Oh my God, we're 13 away. This is crazy. Do it for my grandma. Do it for Safta. You can feel free to unsubscribe right now if you've been subscribed for a long time. Unsubscribe. In 5 seconds, we start the countdown. Here we go. And then once we hit a minute, subscribe. All right, here we go. 60 seconds on the clock. I'll do it every 10. Unsubscribe and then resubscribe. Once we hit 1 minute, I'll tell you when to start subscribing. All right, 50 seconds on the clock. My heart's racing. Feel free, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. And when I give you the note, everyone resubscribe in 1 moment, okay? Here we go. 40 seconds on the clock. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hit it together. Here we go. I think we can do this. 40 seconds on the clock. 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, I want everybody to hit the subscribe button at the same time. You guys ready? We're going to hit 400,000 together. 20 seconds. Here we go. This is so exciting. All right, ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Subscribe. Mash that subscribe button. Mash it right now. Smash it. Smash that baby. Let's go. Come on, guys. 400,000. Let's get it. I think there's a bit of a delay. I'm watching everybody unsubscribe. So uneventful. Oh my God. I went so far back. You guys really listened. Everyone subscribe right now. That's the countdown. Come on. Let's stick it up. Here it is. Here we go, guys. Here it is. Here it is. It's flying up. It's flying up. 947. 955. 963. 970. 980. Here we go. 15, 12, 9. Why did I say 9? 10, 9, 8, 7. Come on. Here we go, guys. We're here. This is the finish line. 6. Can we get a 5? 4, 3, 2, and we did it. Here we are. Here we are. Wow. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. 37 minutes on the clock. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. All right, chill with the unsubscribing, all right? Chill. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight as we did this incredible effort to get to this milestone. Honestly, I wasn't 100% sure. I remember when I pushed to get to 10,000 or 100,000 subscribers back in 2019 it was, when I was living in New York. It was actually quite an effort. Like, I started a live stream and I wasn't 100% sure we'd hit it on the stream, and it was difficult. It was like a hard thing. You guys made this really easy tonight. You guys kept me company. It was a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this milestone more than any of the other ones because it feels very meaningful as well. Thank you for Patrick O'Brien also for super chatting us 9 shekel here at the end of the stream. Appreciate you so much. We breezed past it, but that's it, guys. We did it.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. This is phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for 400,000 subscribers. We are going for the 500K. We are going for it. It doesn't end here. We're going for the 500K. We're coming for that milestone. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. Thank you. I'm going to go have some food. I'm going to go to sleep. Also, thank you to Shaolin for super chatting us 15 check-in. I'll be here. I'll be here on a live stream at 500K. Hopefully we'll do something big out of it. 500K is big. Thank you to each and every single one of you. For real, it's very emotional and it's a very big deal for me. Thank you for making this happen with me. I appreciate you and I love you and thank you so much. Thank you. I'll see you guys next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, class.
Celebrate, it's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate, it's alright. Hey. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate, it's alright. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate, it's alright. Yeah. It's your celebration.